p.m. It is 6:36 this Wednesday, May 20, 2026, and the hearing of the Northern Parliament Commission is called to order. We do have a quorum. Thank you for your presence. My name is Fran Collier Clemens, Chair. Commissioners and our staff are identified by their nameplates, and I thank them for their presence. You will observe that this meeting is being recorded. It is important that you speak clearly and into your mic. Tonight, we will be hearing case number 1877-26, Diana Rivales, tenant versus Zenchao Soundview LLC landlord. I probably did not pronounce that correctly. Please forgive me. The Fair Rent Commission has the authority to hear this case pursuant to section 7-148B through 7-148F of the Connecticut General Statutes and can order a reduction of rent based upon the factors listed therein. Pursuant to section 7-148D of the Connecticut General Statutes and sections 39-8 and 39-13 of the Code of the City of Norwalk, the Fair Rent Commission has the power to order the payment of rent into escrow to the commission and to issue a cease and desist order if it determines that the landlord has retaliated against the tenants for filing a fair rent complaint or in good faith requesting repairs. Fair rent hearings are conducted as follows. All persons who plan to or may testify will be sworn in. Each person sworn in will then in turn state their name and address for the record. Documents will then be identified and entered into evidence by the by a staff member. First, we will have opening statements. The tenant may speak without interruption for no more than 5 minutes to summarize their position. Following that, the other party may also speak again without interruption to summarize their position for no more than 5 minutes. Please do not discuss any settlement offers or the reasons for settlement failing at any point in this hearing. Please note that there is no shouting, speaking out of turn, or foul language unless the foul language is a necessary quotation being repeated here for evidentiary purposes. The hearing tonight will be divided into 6 sections, with each section focused on one particular aspect of the fair rent complaint. During each section, the parties will be asked to present evidence relating only to the subject under consideration in that section. The sections will be 1, considerations of income and expense. 2, conditions of the unit. 3, services, furniture, furnishings, and equipment supplied and the availability of utilities. 4, the size and number of rooms available and rent charged for similar housing accommodations. 5, retaliation. 6, other items not already discussed, which are relevant to the value of the unit. In each section, each party will be given the opportunity to call witnesses and ask them questions. The party not calling the witness will also be given an opportunity to ask questions of each witness. Next, commissioners will ask questions of any person who is testified. The staff would also be free to ask questions or make clarifications as advisable. Witnesses may be called more than once if their testimony is required in multiple sections. If the last segment of the hearing has not concluded by 8:30 p.m., the commission will vote whether to continue the hearing or to adjourn to a later date. Once all segments of the hearing are finished, each party will be given the opportunity to make a 5-minute closing statement. Following the closing statements, the parties will be free to leave if they choose to do so. A recess will be announced following the hearing. Upon completion of the recess, the commission will return to its published agenda. Are there any questions? All persons who may be testifying tonight, please rise to be sworn in. Great. Would you raise your right hand? You solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God, or upon penalty of perjury. Please state your names and addresses for the record.
Diana Malachi Falls, 53-55 Woodward Ave, apartment C as in cat, no, communicate 0685.
Ms. Revelos, I heard, I could hear you fine, but do me a favor, the acoustics are not great here, so just, you hear the projection of my voice, right? So,
Diana Malachi Falls,
beautiful.
53-55 Woodward Avenue, apartment C as in cat, Norwalk, Connecticut, 06854.
Thank you.
Thank you.
姓肖张, I go back John if that's easier. I am the sole owner of Soundview LLC, which previously owned 55 Woodward Avenue. And now I am the personal owner, the pro se respondent in this case, as the owner of 55 Woodward Avenue.
And your address for the record?
For the record, my mailing address is P.O. Box 626, Southport, Connecticut, 06890.
Your physical address?
I do not believe it's relevant.
Mr. Duque, will you please review the documents to be submitted for this hearing?
So the exhibit list, the documents that were submitted for this hearing are the original complaint, city property records, fair rent complaint letters,
You all may be seated.
the hearing notices, the housing inspection report.
Do me a favor, say it by number when you're doing it. Okay, just for the record, that's all.
For the record, number one, original complaint. Number two, city property records. Number three, fair rent complaint letters. Number four, hearing notices. Number five, housing inspection report. Number six, housing inspection photos. Number seven, the tenant exhibits. 7A, complainant emails. 7B, health department emails. 7C, health department violations. 7D, health department photos. 7E, reasonable accommodation letters. 7F, lawyer letters. 7G, video of shower water pressure. 7H, videos of traffic and building. Number 8, landlord exhibits. 8A, letter to the commission. 8B, rent increase and MLS report. 8C, decision letter, fair rent complaint number 1851-24. 8D, rent payment records and case detail. 8E, fair rent complaint annotated. 8F, LinkedIn profile. 8G, insurance agent annual salary. 8H, ASE creations for profit. 8I, unreported and untaxed income.
Thank you. Ms. Ramos, do you have an opening statement?
My opening statement.
Will you
is-
please speak loud?
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. My opening statement is, this is the second time I've been here before. Like stated previous, I have tried and I am trying to do everything in my power to relocate. At the end of the day, my biggest situation is I'm dealing with multiple sclerosis. But what like was just stated right now and per prior situations, a true address needs to be indicated for businesses. For any court standings, so on, a true physical address needs to be stated. Therefore, it makes other things that you do against it invalid, because as a corporation, you have to have even to register, you need to have address in the state of Connecticut. Secondly, I have, and in my evidence for my opening, you will see that because of the things that I've dealt with, because of what other tenants I've dealt with, I have gone into a lane of study that has opened my eyes to a lot of things, and it's going to be addressed insurance. Although I have not yet been able to make the life that I want, and trust me, I am fighting to get out of there. I'm still stuck on the fact that I am on I'm a multiple sclerosis patient that has pushed like no other to not show that she is. At this point, this even being here is in retaliation for the relocation we had to do in January. That being stated, I hope that you guys can understand, not only as somebody who puts their all into their community and their family, that there is a space in place here that is just disrespectful to our community and to people that look like me. I see people come in and out that are just in desperate situations and don't think twice and then get treated unfairly in there. I was put into this situation trying to move out, and all I want to do is be in a space where I can finally relocate my family in a safer situation, because it's becoming hard in there. It's an emotional and mental situation. I've been able to help people leave, and I haven't been able to leave myself. So from the start of this, and when you'll see, this is direct retaliation from the health department having to relocate us for complaining of having hot heat and hot water. And right now I even have problems with hot water. Right? My life is still very limited. It is very funny to question certain things that I am trying my hardest, my absolute hardest to get out of. You've come to my home, you guys have seen, this has been a stressful situation, but at the same time, there's been multiple violations. There's multiple situations here, and you need to actually have a physical address to put me to have a court standings, even to have insurance. This home needs to be insured. There has to be, and exactly, my studies and learning and getting myself, as where, as I told you, and I think my 5 minutes is gone, but I wanted to be up. Since I've been here, I told you guys, I'm trying to study to become an insurance agent. I'm trying to study as an insurance adjuster. I got those. I'm currently also studying as an insurance appraiser, and I'm trying to get my underwriting degree. I promise you, the only thing that limits me is MS.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. John, do you have an opening statement?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you have 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Well, Commissioner, thank you for taking the time. First, I would like to highlight that per order of our previous case, FRC 1851, her rent was adjusted to $985 per month for a 2-bedroom, which is quite unheard of in the city of Norwalk. And according to my own MLS research, the average price of the similar size per MLS rented apartments last year in 2025 averaged to about $2,378, which I believe you shouldn't be too surprised by the figure. That being said, following the order of the 1851-24, I could not increase the rent until January of this year, which when January came, I delivered a notice for effective March 1st increase, trying to give her a 30-day plus window, and still maintain a $200 discount to the average market rate. So the request effective March 1st should have been $2,178. Well, that may, on the face of it, sound dramatic. I looked at the replay when you guys took the case. A lot has changed since last year. So if you recall from the previous case, Diana has been claiming that she was solely on Social Security income, disability income. And Diana, congratulations. As one business owner to another, I want to highlight your very impressive profile. You're trying hard, as you said. You have become a insurance agent, and you're qualified, admitted with 5 different very reputable companies. So congratulations. Your ability to pay, obviously, the rent has significantly increased compared to what you have claimed. As evidenced by the fact that in your complaint, last year when you, or 2 years ago, when you filed a complaint, you generously put down number 17 in your complaint. Your monthly income was $1,500. And this question is specifically for those who are claiming hardship. And in this round, in your own complaint, that question was clearly, intentionally skipped. We'll get into the detail later. But again, congratulations on your increased ability to pay. And Commissioner, I would like you to consider the income and expenses as we go through later, what the fair rent should be in light of what the city of Norwalk and similar size apartments versus this one. That's it for now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The first section of the hearing will focus only on questions of income and expense, including the tenant's income and the availability of alternative accommodations, the landlord's costs for taxes and overhead expenses, the extent to which income from the rent has been or will be reinvested in the property, and the amount and frequency of rent increases. Ms. Rivales, please call your first witness to discuss issues of income and expense only.
The only I would have is for income and expense on my own, but the income on my own is for, well, I guess I'll be questions, but question. There are the biggest expense that I'm asking is if there is coverage for this building with 53-55. Also, because of the coverage of the displacement that we've received. Then with upkeeps of our apartment, I have no idea what those expenses would be. I can only truly indicate or express my incomes, right? I can give you the prices I get directly, and I promise you too, just like anything you would understand, it would be beautiful. And I promise you, I'll be the first one to say when I get the income that's expressed. But when most insurance people are commission based, and you don't get anything till you make commissions, until you build something. So I haven't received anything commission worthy yet, but it will happen soon. And I'm going to put that out there because I'm getting out of this apartment, I promise. That being said, when it comes to upkeep, when it comes to the displacement of people, or even how income is being used within the building, I actually can't even speak to his income. I really can't. That's for the courts to ask. I just know it's not being expressed on the property maintenance of the property, the premises, and the people there. But I can only speak to the things that I receive financially, and in the smallest discrepancies helps me to actually try to grow this, right? Things have been actually expunged. If you actually know in North, you won't see the placement of Ashe currently right now. It's not up right now at all, right? It's not up at all. It's not up, it's not running, it's not happening right now at all, right? Again, I go every day to try my hardest. I promise you, I'll be the first to tell you when I get my big commission, I promise, right? But I haven't got there yet, right? I am still on them, and it does increase per the year. So I'm now at like, myself is 1640, there is an increase, right? I do get help from my family, the most are 500, because I need gas, stuff like that. My income is still quite minimal, and I am fighting to increase it. I also will state and let you guys know that from even the last time that we were here, I believe that the increased amount per how they delegate the responsibilities and the miskeep wasn't fair. I believe you'll also see that you'll see the same things there that you saw pictures before. The same things have not changed. Again, so if they put numbers on their upkeep, the last time I've seen this just because I helped a tenant move out recently. And now they are changing that of units, but everything that they're working on is thrown out in the floor and on the garbage on the property. Right? So for the questions for the court, not to dismay this question itself, but I can only answer to my income, right? I can only speak to that. You guys have the proper questions on what he is paying towards this building that is not being kept. But for me, I truly want to know, especially in this building that I'm watching dilapidate around me, is this insured? Is this insured? I have porches you'll see a picture of breaking up on me. We have water. But anyway, no, it's not rent. It's not rent. That's not income based. Sorry, that's not income. So any questions per my income, I can only answer towards my income. I do not know how to express or give any questions towards his besides asking of this particular space, where are we insured? If that makes financial sense. I won't go any.
Mr. John, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Well, I've heard nothing about,
Would you
I've heard
like to
nothing about her
cross-examine?
expenses.
Don't talk to me. You need to cross-examine the witness.
Jan, I've heard nothing about your expenses.
My expense.
And can you remind me why in your original complaint, with number 17, you could claim hardship and you chose not to put your income in?
I don't
You
even
clearly
know. I
spent a
don't
lot.
even
One
know what I
person at a
skipped.
time, one person.
I
at a
didn't
time.
even realize I even skipped that because I filled it out every other time. Hardship, would be the first thing claimed easily. I've been easily open about that period in my workings in the community. Right? If it's skipped, it's also because I don't even know, I had a refill. I didn't know who you were, the name, the addresses, everything keeps coming back and kicking back. So sometimes refilling things several times, you might forget because everything keeps getting kicked back trying to find you. Right? So that was only just by mistake, and I could honestly apologize for that. But hardship is my situation. 1640 is my income from the disability of multiple sclerosis, which I have to deal with on a monthly basis. Expenses of mine, my rent, my car, myself, my children's food, laundry, right? Also, gas, my daughter's daycare weekly. Right, which also, per my income, has graduated to $25 a week, $27 a week, right? What other expenses do I have? Lights, gas, right, that's not included. I said electricity, what's new, right? And car insurance.
I'm sorry, did you put a dollar figure on those? For me to write down? Maybe not. That's okay if you don't want to disclose.
I can go back to that, So let's go back to the list. The 985 is the rent, right? The lights are about can vary between 70 to 125, but I can put down, I always do past due. Actually, yeah, that's what's new. Gas, I'm on a plan, so I just give them $10 because I get the when they give you assistance for it, I get that. I do the internet and phone. I don't do cable or anything. That's about for me and my daughter about 120 with the internet. We have car insurance is about 179, right? Food, we can say, I try to bring that down to about $250 a month. I usually need help with the food when we get there. I feel I'm missing something. The car itself is about $550, right? I said the daycare was the 27. I will try, if I forgot anything, I'm just.
Daycare is how much per month?
So $27 a week.
So about $115 a month.
Like, I know my expenses actually overdue my income. It always does. I always need help. Yeah. We have gas. Gas is going up, but let's say I always do it at half a tank, so to fill my tank is $40, about $40, maybe twice a week. So that would be 80 twice.
Could you repeat your income, what's your total income a month?
The 1640,
1540, thank you. 1640, thank you,
16.
thank you.
And I think that should run to everybody. And laundry is every 2 weeks,
So how much is your rent?
$985.
And the rest is on your expenses that you
Yeah.
just,
Usually I need help. I'm usually calling my mom, usually calling people. That's why I'm trying to push so hard. And I paid, like, I worked hard for those licenses.
Okay. Do you have any
Can I
other?
keep going?
Yes.
Thank you. So I appreciate you mentioned that you are earning literally zero for your insurance. That's really impressive because remind me, according to the public records, when did you get your insurance license?
Depends which one. I think it was in December. No, it was December. I think 2 years ago, right before I got the retina detachment, injured my eyes, so I couldn't do anything because then I had an exacerbation, so I couldn't do anything with that. That's when I ran and lost, right? Because I couldn't walk. So I couldn't do anything then. Then after that, I recovered and took a year. I tried to place with Bankers Life, it didn't work out. I didn't make any income with them. I only had one thing that paid out and didn't do anything there. I left. I stayed, I had to study again for with my actual agent license when I got with Bankers Life, I got adjuster's license first with a program that came from Norwalk. And currently, right now, I've had the most constant situation, but it's because it's with a family member. I'm not actually with someone like, he has a company, but he's a family member of mine. His name is Laurent, David Laurent, and our families have a long history in the Haitian community together. His sister, Ezeli Danto, is my mentor. You know what I mean? So it just works that he's trying to help me out in that way, and especially with my situation, so I work with them.
So for the record, you have been an insurance agent since last year.
Yeah.
For over 6 months. And of course, your office, I believe, is located in Bridgeport. So you're, like you said, you spend about $40 times 2 each week just to drive to work for essentially volunteering work. I mean, you're saying zero income on that. I find it interesting. And please don't interrupt.
Can you please ask this question?
According to,
Good question.
let me put it on the record. According to
No, please
the
ask the
various
question.
sources, the question being, how can you possibly claim you have no income when the average insurance agent in Connecticut makes about $6,500 per month?
Easy, because I have no income and I haven't created a book of my own yet. And as soon as I do and start making that income, I will be in that average place. So I'm doing that. And it's not only, and here's the other thing, you would be mistaken, because my movement is not only for going to my brother, but you forget, I have multiple sclerosis. Every month I go to Griffin Hospital for IV treatment. At the 2 weeks after, somebody else, I go back for an injection. Every weekend, I am in recovery. I go to doctors. My neurologist is in Griffin Hospital as well. His name is Dr. Joseph Granasha. I just had an accident recently. So I've been going to chiropractors, I've been going to doctors, I've been going to the coastal orthopedics in Walmart. I'm not just going, I deal with a medical situation. So a lot of my time also is with doctors and appointments. I literally have appointments almost, I won't say every day, but I have appointments weekly. It's not just that. And that's exhaustively what I'm trying to fight, because I can't do the average normal every day, go to work 9 to 5 and actually insurance people has a stronger rigor than me. They usually work hours. I can't work that. I can't do that. I can't do the 12-hour days. They have a much stronger rigor than I can do. Much stronger. I do more than 25 hours, five hours a week for where I go.
Sounds worse than a unpaid internship.
Okay,
essentially.
questions. But
My next question is,
questions on,
one more, you mean?
your questions on.
Yes, absolutely. My next question is, tell me more about this Ask Creations LLC, which,
Question.
yes, the income
Oh.
from the Ask Creations LLC, which is a for-profit company according to, your own profile.
And
That's
I also-
located at 97 Wall Street.
And I also wanted to realize that my only question never was answered about his insurance. He never answered that
He hasn't.
insurance.
Yeah,
Doesn't
go
on
but,
it.
test.
Oh, okay. But that being said, Ashe Creations is the first thing I was trying to do to get out of my situation. Unfortunately, it is, it's hard to say it's no longer. So it's not a space, it's not a place, but it's a ceramic art studio that I was actually working very hard to make this a staple in Norwalk, right? I had to back down on it. It's too much, yes. The space that I thought it would be wouldn't work. And I'm actually hoping that if I regroup, use the insurance properly, I can actually bring back Ashe Creation as a mobile ceramic art studio and redo a bus instead of actually having a space. So it'll be a little easier to handle too, right? But it is a ceramic art studio. I was hoping for it to grow and be beautiful here, but it's actually it's not in existence right now. It's in a little bit of a table. It doesn't have any space. The address is back at my home. And it's unfortunately, not here. And it's hurtful. But it was definitely my first plan. It was my plan A to get out of that apartment and where I was going to. And it didn't work. So insurance is my plan B.
Sorry, so what's the income and expense from that business?
And
It's been in
it's not-
existence for,
There's nothing right now.
10
There's
years.
no, it's not happening right now. It's not, there's actually had more expense than income. And because of situations that we ran into, it hasn't been in existence in the last year, actually. It hasn't functioned in the last year, going into 2 years now, to be honest. It hasn't been in function since December 2023. Like, it hasn't been. It has been a wish and a hope, just like I told you guys before. I told you then, I'm trying to get out of your space and place. I don't like it.
so again, what's the income and expense? Because you
Nine,
could
zero
renew,
and zero.
according to
The
this,
question is 0 and 0.
according to the Secretary of the State of Connecticut, you renew this business
I
as
did.
recently
I
as
did. And you saw I had an actual address and I did renew it.
2025.
And it's not because I don't want it to.
you
live
claimed
in.
it's wound down in 2023.
So
You
then
renewed
the
it.
expense was the
In
eight.
fact,
Stop.
Excuse me, hold it.
Don't talk over me.
I'm not trying, I'm just trying to.
Just
answer
a
the
moment,
question.
Ms.
Oh,
Revolve.
sorry.
Let him finish his question. When he's finished with his question, you can answer it. He'll let you finish. When she's finished, you can ask the question again. We do
Absolutely.
not have a record with this court reporter talking over each other. I admonished you both in the very beginning of that. Don't do it.
I was talking and I was just trying to finish up. Now, Commissioner, please take a look at Exhibit H from the respondent, H2. And that's relevant to my question.
Mr. John, right now, you're only to cross-examine the witness.
Correct. I'm trying to figure out
Ask the question of the witness so that we can move on, please.
okay, well, I put it for the record that it is a questionable thing to say. There's zero income from insurance. There's zero income from a for-profit business that's been existing for 10 years.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Is that your question?
Is that my question?
Well, I would like to know the income, true income and expense associated with your business,
And I will honestly.
for the record.
And for the record, I would like to answer. The income for Ashe Creations is zero. The expenses currently is zero. It is not in operation, right? My workings for insurance currently, which I'm even fighting, is zero, right? I have not made a commission-based product yet, right? My help comes from my family when I need, and I
Okay,
am doing that. That's my answer, and it's the truth.
any other questions, Mr. John?
I have no
Thank
further
you.
questions on that.
Are there any questions from the commissioner for this witness? Are there any questions from the staff for this witness?
I just have a couple of questions. Ms. Revelos, you filed tax returns for 2025.
No.
Why not?
Well, that was also an issue and a problem that my company was having. Like, the one time I got a lawyer to help us, we actually got robbed by that lawyer. And it was, I paid him $1,500, he never filed us. And it was a loophole that I've been stuck with when I had accountants. I don't have them anymore. You know what I mean? I myself, because of disability, haven't filed income or taxes in a while. So like a big part of, again, doing the insurance is so I can. No, I haven't generated what I needed to do with those companies. I tried my hardest.
So
It
your
didn't work.
income is SSDI, which is tax exempt, correct?
Exactly. I haven't filed taxes in years.
And you're the sole owner of Akshay Creations, correct?
Yeah,
There's no income, correct?
you know.
I have no other questions.
Okay. All right, Mr. John, would you please call your witness on the issue of income and expenses? Call your first witness regarding the issues of income and expense only.
Sure. I included this in exhibit, the executive summary and the letter to the commissioner. And if you just simply look at page 2.
Which exhibit are you referring to?
It's not an exhibit, it's an executive summary. It's a letter to the commissioner dated May 12, should be the first page.
Exhibit A.
You saw
Should be exhibit A, I suppose. I
8A, okay.
guess you can call it that.
8A?
8A, correct.
A. Is now page 2. Well, in the letter, I try to address some of the questions. However, I summarize the financial situation for this department on a per unit basis. So it is easy to think about. I have a table for both monthly as well as annual, which merely times 12 for most part. So the income for this unit is $985, or the monthly rent rather. And that's against a prorated real estate taxes, $188, insurance cost, $116, mortgage, $574, trash recycling. That's actually new this year because City of Norwalk used to take care of it, and City of Norwalk decided that everyone would need to go get their own private hauler. So that's on a per unit basis for this entire table per month. That's $29.
Is that
Repeat.
$29?
$29. And repair cost monthly about $67, and legal costs about $100. So when you add those up, it's about $1,074, coming to a net loss of about $89 per month. So if you want to look at it annual number, it's to the right. And in fact, on that topic, in terms of the income, if you recall from, again, referring to the last case, 1851-24, the commissioner had decided that the rent for the entire year of 2025 from January through December is supposed to be $985 per month. That's per decision letter. If you need to reference it, it's in Exhibit C. And in the letter, the commissioner also ordered her to pay in full the arrearage that existed. So you will see it in the letter. So in other words, if you simply take $985 per month times 12, you will come up with $11,820. According to the rent payment Exhibit D, when you add everything up, the payment received from calendar day January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025 was $11,416, a rent loss of $404, which shows her defiance, I don't know what's the right word, of the commissioner's order from the last case, 1851-24. I find it interesting, to say the least. That's it for now.
Okay, Mr. Wallace, do you have, would like to cross-examine the witness?
When you speak of defiance, when there was issues that Fair Rent,
Ms.
Question.
it's a
Mr.
question,
Wallace,
it's a question.
well, ask the question,
Yeah, I'm about to.
please.
Defiance, and especially using that word, when there has been issues brought up in front of Fair Rent, of the slew of people, the health department, so on, told you of complaints. You in response, did you not only respond in a way of defiance of saying not only myself and other tenants are lying, but that the same commissioners you're talking about were lying from the health department, Fair Rent, in an email?
That's not a question about finances, Ms. Ravales.
Oh, I'm so
It's
sorry.
only about
Defiance.
finances,
Okay.
income and expenses.
Income expenses. Do you pay for insurance for that building?
We've said it. On your per unit basis, it's $116 per month.
From whom? And from whom? Who's your insurance carrier?
Who's my insurance carrier?
Yes.
Is there a public
It's a
disclosure?
valid
Yeah,
question.
that is,
Answer
that's
the
very
question.
equal to-
It's a valid question.
I do
Answer
not
the question.
recall on top of my head. I do need to look it up. It is insured, and I do pay for it.
I would just like to express that there is a letter that I have given, and that's one of my major
It's not a
questions.
it's not a
I
question.
was just saying that's one of my major
That's
financial
not, we
questions.
understand that. Any other questions about income and expenses? These are things are very well defined back and forth.
Okay, how much do you spend for maintaining our landscape for our building on a seasonal basis? And who do you pay to do so?
I did not allocate it to your unit, first of all. And if I do, then I will be looking at a much bigger loss.
Can I rephrase that?
In terms of the landscaping and seasonal expenses, it runs roughly about $2,000 a year.
Can you?
And I have a number of different contractors that I work with, depending on the season and the task that's needed.
Who exactly do you pay for mowing in the summer and raking in the fall and shoveling snow in the winter? Who covers that?
I have to look up who the individuals are. I don't remember on top of my head.
When's the last time you paid for actually washing that building itself, the building?
I'm sorry,
Pressure washing the.
washing the
itself.
building?
cleaning, washing, pressure cleaning the building itself?
That's a very novel question. And no, I do not believe it would be a good idea to pressure wash the building. When,
So the answer to the question is you haven't power washed the building, correct?
No.
Okay, that's a very simple answer. Let's just answer the question and we'll be able to get out of here tonight sometime.
Who do you pay to take care of, again, the inside common areas for the tenants?
as I said, I have a number of different contractors. Depending on the need, I send different people. Vacuuming?
That's a need in the common area. Who takes care of it?
Oh, I
How
remember.
much you charge for it?
Are we gonna go into this issue? I mean,
So the reason,
All right, stop, everyone stop,
Please.
everyone stop.
One moment.
These are valid questions. You can either answer the question or you can't answer the question. If you know the answer, give her the answer. If you don't know the answer, say, I don't have an answer.
$2,000 a year, including all the maintenance, specifically for the common area for the building. I do not remember the names of who comes on top of my head. And I can certainly make it a follow-up. But is it about names or is it about?
That, you answered the
amounts?
question, you answered the questions.
Right.
If you have a name and an amount, that's fine. If you don't, then you don't. So, because we can go here all night, she can ask you a million questions about who takes the scissors out and cuts the grass, and you'll either know or you won't know. So let's go ahead, Ms. Rebel, it's your turn.
Okay, in this section 1 on income and expenses, do you have another question to cross-examine with another question?
I think I can.
Okay, are there any questions from the commissioners?
I have one.
Yes.
I would like to know how come everything is a secret? Why is everything a secret? You can't tell your address. You can't say who's the insurance company. Everything is a secret, and I would just like to know why. You can't disclose any of that information.
Well, I did state, first of all, my mailing address. And I'm trying to figure out why that's not sufficient. Secondly, for the insurance, I could certainly look it up right now if I just wanted to be efficient with everyone's time. So let me look it up. Give me just one. And third, in terms of everything is secret, if you're referring to, Commissioner, the question about the contractors, I apologize. I do work with a lot of them. And again, depending on the need, I do not remember the names of each and every one of the person I work with on top of my head, depending on the need. We are talking about services spanning the last 12 months. I'm trying to be precise about it. So I do not remember, I apologize. I could certainly make it a follow-up if it's of relevance and importance to this topic. In terms of the insurance, this property is insured through NEEE and Ryan Turner.
Sorry, I need the name again.
NEEE and Ryan Turner. There's coverage for dwelling. Had there been fire, and there's coverage for liability.
Okay, are there any other questions?
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question. So how many apartments do you own?
In Norwalk, just this one.
Any other questions from the commissioners?
Right.
Any?
Sorry.
Um,
There are 3 units in the apartment building that you own, correct?
I'm sorry, sir. Yeah.
Sure. How many apartment units are there in the building that you own in Norwalk?
This one building alone, and this is a 6-unit building.
This is a 6-unit building.
Yes.
And the expenses that you cite in your letter, do you have receipts to substantiate those?
I do.
Are they in an exhibit or do you just have them on your?
I did not provide them. I assume it was not asked for. I could certainly make it a follow-up. I try to summarize it for the 16th and the executive summary and exhibit A.
So, so you didn't properly answer my question. I asked you how many apartments you own. You said just this one.
I apologize. That I'm thinking just 55 Woodward Avenue. So yes, I apologize if I did not answer it correctly. Single
Okay.
building in Norwalk, that's the only one I own in the city of Norwalk. And this building, 55 Woodward Avenue, is a 6-unit.
Okay, so are you underwater on a monthly basis? If we look at the aggregate of all of the apartments? Or
I do not
are you
believe
just
so.
underwater on this one?
In terms of the fairness of the rent, I'm underwater on this one. And in terms of aggregate, I do not believe I'm underwater. Then again, I don't believe I'm here, doing it I'm not working for the Red Cross. And in terms of the fairness of rent for this particular case, which is what we're discussing, I'm clearly underwater, as you can see from the exhibit.
Sir, where else do you own apartments outside of Norwalk?
I own apartments in Bridgeport, Fairfield, and Stamford for the most part.
Thank you.
I got here late, but this building was owned by Chefa, so they had subsidized rent. So how did that work when you acquired the property and transferring that? Because I know there's credits and then there's like terms that you're allowed to then increase, right? I think that's the biggest thing is the increase underwater and all those things. So with obtaining a building that was already in place with a contract with the Connecticut Finance Housing Authority, how did you, when you bought the property, handle that? Because you obviously can't just raise rents because there's already like kind of like a contract in place with the current tenants that are there. So as an owner taking over a building, a 6-unit, obviously in the future, the return would be there in reassessing the building, maybe making it nicer, maybe getting full market rent. But how did you handle that with the current like due process that was already in place? And when did that expire?
Well, that expired already.
Okay.
I have to look at when.
Mhm.
One of the reasons Chapa was able to sell this building, main reason really is because, well, that has expired.
Got it.
So this is no different than any other market
Right.
building.
Got it.
And it will fall under any other process.
Noted.
I'd let it be known for the record that Commissioner Santiago joined us at 7:15 and she just spoke. Okay, are there any questions of the
I have one more question.
yeah.
So when you said you acquired the building, it was already expired. Did the tenants that were in the place understand that it was expired and that their rents would be increased? And what kind of due process through the laws that they are entitled to, do they get to maybe find new suitable housing or maybe adjust to the new rents that you were trying to put in place?
As Diana said, it is a free market.
Right.
And those who wish to move to another apartment, they
Right.
could. I do not have another apartment in Norwalk to offer the tenants.
Yeah.
So that's I mean, if it's Chapa, I believe perhaps you could request them to transfer between their buildings.
Right.
I do not have the luxury to do that as much as I wish I can help you, Diana, to move to another building. I mean, I offer Bridgeport in the past.
So did you purchase this place from Chaffa?
I did,
Chaffa sold you this place?
yes.
It says that. So to confirm, you said that it was expired when you acquired the building or was not expired when you acquired?
It was not, it was about to expire.
It was
Yes,
about to expire.
correct.
Okay, so again, it was about to expire were the tenants provided proper like information and notice? Because you're dealing with a different kind of market when you're acquiring your building in the
Absolutely.
future. Yeah.
I went through the whole spectrum compliance with respect to LIHTC compliance. I believe I did that for one cycle, and that was it. That was the end of it. So frankly, during that cycle, I understand I didn't do anything, as you can see from her complaint.
Yeah.
That I simply kept the rent in place.
Yeah.
And after that, I tried to work with her, and I was again referring to 1851-24. I only raised the rent by $100, and that turned out, if you, friend, you remember the meeting very clearly. I believe we were here for, was it 2 hours? It was longer than I would have liked, and at that time, I had to catch a flight to go to across the country. Fortunately, I'm back.
I have one more question for you. So Chaffa, you bought this for Chaffa, and they understood that this was gonna be market rate. When you bought it, because I don't think Chaffa does market rate. And I think they like to stay affordable or under affordable, but for what I know. And so Chaffa was in agreement with you to buy this, make it market rate, and not fix up the place.
There was no agreement about needing to fix up anything. I do have to say, Chaffa does a very good job maintaining the building when I bought it. And in terms of market rates, there was actually never any rent limit on this building. It may sound like there is, there isn't. As an example, I inherited one of the tenants, and his rent was $1,600 per month. That was I believe, let me see. That was a 1-bedroom. So again, just using that number and the fact that there was no rent limits as of the place. So I did not inherit any of that.
So
In fact, as part of the transition, I do recall now, and just refreshing my memory on the transaction, there was a specific restrictive covenant document. And as part of the agreement, Chaffa went ahead and obtained the proper approval to essentially sunset that restrictive covenant as part of the transaction. Hence the reason why when this was transferred, there was really no restriction, other than there was just one more year of, I think I had to work with spectrum compliance. And even for that, it was really just to provide the tenant information.
So you're saying that
Hold on.
Tenants information.
Please remember to talk, to speak clearly, loudly enough for the court reporter to get your answer. This is important.
So this is it. I'm not gonna ask anymore. When you purchased this building, all the apartments, except for Diana's, were market rate? Or were they below market rate, affordable?
I don't remember, but her unit clearly is the bottom of the list when it comes to rent. And allow me to find one tenant who lived there since my acquisition, and her rent is over $2,000.
It was over 2,000 when you purchased it? So why did you go down to 900?
No, another tenant, not her.
No, that's what, I misunderstood. Say that again.
So Diana's rent, when I inherited or when I purchased the property, was $885. And over the years, this many years, I only increased it once to $100, and she bought to the teeth with that. In comparison, nobody else was at that rate. And as an example, one of the tenants that still resides there, as I would consider a legacy tenant. Her rent is over 2,000. And as I said, this is entirely because there is absolutely no rent restriction on this building at all as part of the transaction, because Chapa sunset the restrictive covenant, which was recorded in the land record, and LIHTC credit expired, as everybody knows. So there is simply no restriction. This is the main reason why Chapa got rid of it. There's just no, it just doesn't mean much to them.
What are you saying is the main reason that Chapa got rid of it?
This is at the end of the LIHTC credit, and Chapa removed the rent covenant restriction and sold it on the market.
Okay, now the financials that you submitted, how do I know? I mean, it's not in the context of your overall, of the entirety of the 6 apartments. How did you allocate? What sort of principles did you apply in terms of allocating the various costs? Because I'm sure that the real estate is not assigned per apartment. Real estate taxes are not assigned per apartment. How do we know that we would agree with the way that you have constructed this?
Well, for the most part, it's a simple divided by 6. So if you take the annual number times 6, you should be able to, for example, the real estate taxes, the city of Norwalk, real estate tax on this building. Let me just do a quick times 6 for you. So on annual number is 2,253.64 times 6, and that means city of Norwalk assessed $13,522 per year on this entire building. I just simply do it divided by 6.
How did you know that Chaffa was selling the building?
It was posted in the public. In fact, it sat on LoopNet for quite a few months before we reached out. I do not know anyone over there. By the way, I do want to correct one thing for the record. It wasn't Chaffa.
And that's what I said at first. I didn't believe that you bought that from Chaffa, because they only deal with like housing authorities and stuff like that. So I didn't understand why Chaffa would sell you that building.
Well, I do apologize, and I don't mean to place blames. This has been a very long time ago. Commissioner Santiago, you mentioned Chaffa.
I mentioned it because I read it in the complaint right here. It says in the.
It says Connecticut Housing Partners, but that's not.
It
okay.
wasn't Chaffa, it's CHP.
Oh, CHP, sorry.
We work very closely with Chaffa. Chaffa comes into the picture here and there in the background, but the seller is CHP.
Yeah.
I do apologize if
Okay.
I apologize as well. I think the most important note there, even mentioning it, was just like it was an affordable housing unit in the past.
I do agree.
Yeah.
CHP is
Okay.
based, and they have a lot of buildings. I really like those guys. But before the purchase, I did not know anyone. It was a arm's length sale. If that was the question, it was posted on LoopNet, and we just came across, and that was it.
So the insurance costs, the annual mortgage, the trash and recycling, all of these things are not specific to this particular unit.
They are. So everything I lay out there, I simply take the annual number. I mean, obviously, that's the only way to do it, right? So for example, you're talking about a $13,000 per year real estate taxes. What do I assign to this unit? Well, it's divided by 6, seems like the reasonable thing to do.
And
Unless
what
you
about
suggest
the insurance, and what about the insurance, the annual
thing.
mortgage, et
Same
cetera? Okay, so does that mean that they're all 2-bedroom units? They're all the same size?
They are all the same size in terms of the square footage. They are between, 2 of the units are slightly smaller, 821 square feet. And 4 of the units, including Diana's, is 838 square feet. So as comparison, and when I run my MLS report, so between 800 and 850, which is the range of a 2-bedroom in Norwalk, between Jan 1st of 25 and December 31st of 25, on average, there were 13 apartments rented on that range, and they rented on average for $2,378. So as a comparison,
Okay.
it's very tight.
Are there any questions from the staff?
Just one or two. Mr. John, the last time we were here, you actually didn't have a mortgage on the property. You were imputing the value of capital. Do you actually have a real mortgage on this property now?
I still am imputing the overall mortgage payment.
So there's no more, you're not paying a mortgage on this property at all, correct? You're going to pay yourself back the capital costs for this, correct?
That is correct. For this building, there is no specific attached first lien.
So-
Which I could easily go out and attach, and the number would be.
So the monthly mortgage per unit is a totally fake number. There is no mortgage you're paying per month, correct?
That is not correct. Because again, when you run, just like when I say a per unit basis, per unit, there is no mortgage, even if there is a mortgage on the building. So the fair thing to do will be my cost of running the business allocated to each unit that are in existence.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask one more time, and you're under penalty of perjury here, okay? So I want you to answer this very carefully, so the commission understands it. You have no bona fide mortgage to a third-party lender to pay an expense on a monthly basis for this property, correct?
455 Woodward Avenue, there is no first lien, correct?
And the legal costs. You pay $1,200 a unit for, pay $1,200 in legal costs for this unit last year?
Well, actually, that one is really interesting. Would you like to get into?
No, I want you to answer my question. I want you to answer my question. Did you actually pay $1,200 last year for legal expenses on this unit?
Absolutely.
Who'd you pay?
Kent Miller.
And what did he do for you?
So there was a frivolous housing code case against me. And as part of it, Diana used the case to skip rent, and you will see that in my exhibit.
Okay, I understand.
Exhibit B.
You answered the question.
And
You
she
hired
skipped
Ken-
2 months worth of rent out of that frivolous case. And because at the time it was a LLC, I had to get a legal counsel to represent, and hence why since then I'm changing to a pro se respondent. So if I need to do something, it will be easier.
Okay, I have no other questions.
Okay. Okay, we will close out section 1. Let me remind you that, we are trying to end this at 8:30. So please keep your answers directly, to the question that is being asked of you. Please don't add any superfluous information about what you think or whatever that is. And we're going to go into section 2. The second section of this hearing will focus only on questions relating to conditions of the unit, including repairs, sanitary conditions, whether the unit is in compliance with ordinances of the city and state, and if the tenants caused any damage to the premises. Mr. Boggs. Please call your first witness to discuss the conditions of the unit and any repairs needed in the unit only. Nothing else.
If I could, I kind of wish I knew if I could have unit C that used to be there and unit F who just started complaining to health department.
Ms.
about
Ravalos,
conditions
please
there.
tell us about the condition of
About
your
the
unit.
conditions there.
Of your unit,
Oh,
not
okay,
anybody
with
else's unit,
witnesses.
your unit,
But when you
please.
said to call witnesses, okay,
You
so
can't,
with my unit, I have dealt with, the biggest problem has been heat, hot water, electricity issues, being, needing extermination, right? The lengths in which I have to take to actually get a response for things and major issues like hot water. I have a toilet issue because of pressure, in the building that I have to make sure I take care of myself because I can't wait. You know what I mean? It's come to the point of there was multiple violations sent by the health department because of the lack of upkeep, not only from a seasonal way, but the common areas, right? And ever since the 16 years I lived there, especially when it was dealt with, what you were discussing back and forth, the common areas were always dealt with property management, with the ownership. Currently, right now, we're in the spring, right? You have a place where our building itself is bringing the property value around because the overgrowing of weeds, the overgrowing of grass, my daughters with their allergies, it's a problem.
Ms. Rabani,
Upkeep,
Ms.
right?
Rabani, let me remind you, we are talking about the condition of your unit, the repairs of your unit, sanitary conditions of your unit. Your unit.
Yeah. No, and why these are important, right, with those upkeeps is per our units, especially with the upkeep of the property, those come right into the units as well. The lack of upkeep outside gives problem in space for the unit air and quality inside. We have had, for example, with why I say that this is in retaliation, directly, my apartment in January, and I miss having to go to court with him because we had no hot water. We had to get relocated by the health department. This was now the second time for that year, right? The day we came back, I actually had to go run to court to let them know I missed you because I was at the hotel. We were relocated. The very next day, I got this letter about a rent increase. The very next day, right? Court, we get taken out. And of course, I'm the bigger voice. I'm the one. We come back in, very next day, I get this letter. Straight retaliation. And if it was for January, so on, you could have started January 1st. There are upkeep issues from even down to the base, like the boarding, the heat planes. You guys have come and taken pictures of, seeing that they didn't change. We have painting of the wall where water has hit last, that they just put a little tacking on there and haven't come back in 3 years. It looks exactly the same way you guys took pictures of it 3 years ago. Right? Again, the unit itself, water pressure, hot water is a problem, right? They don't even look at the spaces because every unit actually has some type of boiler mechanism, but they haven't even opened those doors in 3 years per unit. They haven't even opened that door for 3 years. Because of the lack of the plumbing within this, it's causing, so there are peak times in our units. I can't use water during the day when people go to school, and we can't use water when people are coming home. It's too high. It's too low. For showers, I gotta take it like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. For water pressure, right? I've taken like 20 minutes just to fill a tub for my daughter to take a bath because of the water pressure being so low. Every single morning, to the point, every single morning, there's no hot water. Right? There was a time my bathroom, actually even right now, you guys have even stated in your stuff and what you've seen. Right now, my bathroom's fence isn't working. It doesn't have a window in the bathroom. The power went out. The power blew there, even to the point of where health department went to check. It sparked on them because it sparked on my daughter, right? So from that, once the power did come back on, which took almost 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get them to come back to using my bathroom, I had to use extension lights and lamps. Now the vent isn't working, right? Again, still and to get him in there, I pray that nothing else happens, like the refrigerator, for example, the oven, or the toilet, which is a constant problem because of pressure issues. This unit, for my unit, I have distributed to see that there is function, the foundation issues, the flooding that happens within the basement. We can't even use the washer and dryers at all anymore. Ever since they owned this place, we have not been able to use the washer and dryers anymore. Again, part of my unit is I can't go down there because of safety. We used to have people living there. It's a common area. You know what I mean? There's no safety. There's no safety for myself. And for myself, since he met me, I've had a reasonable accommodation for exactly what you said. When I was there 16 years ago, it was big because the land itself was for affordability, right? Not the building, but the land. So every unit was controlled. It wasn't until things were moved and Section 8 was applied.
Revelos,
So-
condition.
Right, so the condition, yeah, so the condition, sorry, so the condition, that being said, when I was in there and when they came in, was going through an exacerbation. There are reasonable accommodations that were supposed to also be in the unit, hence, because of my disability, like handles being in the shower. The remote rug, because when I need a walking access for things, still haven't been done. And it was back in the time because I've been so long, but that's how he was introduced to me, needing reasonable accommodations, but I told you guys that then, right? So there is, and to get an upkeep in my unit, you have evidence of how far I have to go to get a response. It doesn't just, hey, I have a hot water issue. Hey, I need you to come in. Hey, I need like an exterminator. And they come, there's no proper, reporting system. There's no ticket number. There's a woman that you're supposed to call that she will block you.
You may not be happy, but.
No, this is concerns for the unit because it's not the upkeep.
Condition, you're going way far afield again.
It's not, okay, so for upkeeps of condition, there's no reporting that there's mild conditions happening. And there's no response to conditions there. So I have to go to far out, accommodations to get the conditions responded to. That I'm not trying to be your left, I'm just trying to say, one of the major
You
conditions.
don't like the way he runs the property, we got that.
Okay.
It's really clear, you don't like the way he manages the property, it's pretty clear to everybody here, okay?
Okay,
Condition of your unit, that's what we're talking about now.
so condition of the unit currently is that there is no upkeep, no renovation to it. It's been the exact same thing since I moved. Anything that's okay now is because I have fought for it, but I've gone months without dealing with water issues. I just recently got the power back in my bathroom and the vent is not working still, right? And the vents in the bathroom, because there's no window in it, so there must be a vent that works in that bathroom, right? It doesn't work. Extermination is still an issue, right? And any problem, even currently right now, has only been addressed because of the mound of evidence that you have seen, right? Other than that, if I don't go to this extent, I don't get my issues handled.
Okay, thank you.
That's it.
Mr. John, do you like to cross-examine the witness?
Absolutely. I mean, you clearly have a lot of
Questions,
issues.
please.
Yes,
I click what?
you clearly have a lot of issues and I'm gonna
It's
have.
not a question, questions. What's
Question.
wrong, like, what's wrong with your heat now? What's wrong with your water now?
Do you have water in your apartment?
Low pressure water. I have issues with low pressure water, yes.
Is your toilet working? Can you flush?
Not always, no.
Interesting. Do you
There
have
are
hot
times of the
water?
day I can't.
Do you currently have heat in your apartment?
Currently, yes.
Do you have electricity in your apartment?
Currently, yes.
Well, that's great to know.
You don't need that, that's not a question, we don't need your colloquy, ask a question. You're
I'm
not helping yourself,
I'm
okay?
trying
Just
to
ask
figure-
a question, every time she gives an answer, you say, oh, that's great. No one needs that, you ask a question, she gives you an answer. You're not making this any better for yourself by
Understood.
doing that.
Then shall we move on?
You
Yeah,
can ask questions, you can certainly ask more questions, but
any more
you don't
questions?
comment on every
Do I
answer.
get a chance to just, well, I guess
Yes,
the question
yes,
is,
you
do I
do.
get a chance
You
to
do.
address the
You have the
condition?
opportunity right now to ask questions, but please do not put any comments to it, just ask the
Absolutely.
question.
Do I get a chance to address the conditions? and
Yes,
try? Okay,
yes.
then I will save it for that later. I do not have any questions.
All right, are there any questions from the commissioners, any of the commissioners? Are there any questions from the staff? Oh, I'm sorry, sure, John.
Mr. Valls, is there a health inspection?
Yes.
After the complaint was filed, so,
Yes.
and what did the health inspection find?
May I just ask which time?
Since the complaint's been filed, so since January, whatever the most recent.
So there's been several since
Okay.
January. that I've submitted in. And it's actually been quite hard to deal with those individual complaints when they were dealt with at that time, right? It would go as far as having to either go to court or having the health department set the violation.
So there was a health department inspection, they identified issues. So my next question is, have those issues been resolved?
Not all of them, no, because you just reminded me, one of the major issues too, it also needs a fire department to come in and they haven't come in.
What are the issues that have not been resolved? You
Like,
mentioned the vent, is that one of
The
the
vent
issues that has not been resolved?
it hasn't been resolved yet,
Okay.
right? And I don't wanna go out of saying, what, you want my unit, that's my unit, that's what I'm gonna say, the other stuff is within the property, so I just, my unit, the vent isn't working currently. The bathroom has issues, water pressure is an issue, that's my problems currently.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other questions from the commissioners? Are there any questions from the staff?
No questions.
All right, we have concluded with section 2.
Well, no, we
Witness.
Witness, oh, I'm sorry.
benefit.
Okay, the witness,
Landlord.
the witness.
Commissioners, first, I would like to point your attention to Exhibit D, which is really important. So it's Exhibit D, after the payment records, there's a case detail. And the docket number for the record is NWH CV 25 5003462-S. This is a housing code enforcement case that ended in judgment of dismissal in January of this year. Now, of course, this case started in the summer of last year, 2025, with a number of frivolous housing code accusations, including in some of the pictures.
Wait. I think I'm missing something here.
Please testify.
Okay.
Exhibit D, and there should be a little label on top that says Exhibit D-2 case detail with the docket number. Do you have it? I just want to make sure that is one of the more telling exhibits.
There's a motion to open judgment.
It's in red writing across the top. Exhibit A, Exhibit D-1 rent payment record.
It's after the payment record.
You're looking at D-2 case details?
Yes, that's right.
Thank you.
I'm seeing pictures.
No, it's eight, it's 8. Exhibit 8, letter D.
Yeah, maybe I should pause for a moment until everyone's on the same page, because this one is a really important reference to address the condition of a apartment.
Yeah, keep going through that. It's the very last page. So these are the turn down.
Shall I continue? Okay, very good. So this case was filed in the summer of last year with a bunch of frivolous housing code reports for alleged violation. As you can see, this case was ended in dismissal. Second page of the page detail, you will see that on January 22nd, Judge John Reagan dismissed the case. And then a couple of days later, Diana went back, tried to reopen the case. And then we had.
Well, you see why, when I tell the commission why the case was dismissed?
Well, there are two reasons. First, exactly as she said, she was a no-show to the hearing. Second, on the motion to open, we went in front of Judge John.
Actually, I want the commission to look at this record because it says the court enters judgment of dismissal as service was not properly made on the defendants and the plaintiff failed to appear in court. So those are technical reasons for dismissal. There's no jurisdiction if you don't serve a piece of paper properly And if the claimant doesn't show up in court, the judge will dismiss the case too. It's not an adjudication on the merits of anything. It's a technical dismissal of everything.
Correct. Thank you for clarifying that. And then if you go to the next page, there was a hearing held subsequent to the dismissal. She tried to reopen the case. And if you look at, Attorney Iskov, could you explain the reason why her motion was denied?
Well, I don't even have to explain. It says right in the paperwork, everyone can read. It says the defendant's motion to open judgment is denied since the issues have been reportedly resolved based on Housing Court Inspection Report number 115. The court orders that all funds held in trust by the clerkship will be released to the defendant, landlord made payable to Kent Miller as trustee. So those are the findings of the court.
Thank you very much. And that means throughout the case, there was another ruling from Judge John Reagan, clearly indicating that she used the case to skip rent for October and November. That was per court finding. So this is the reason why this exhibit is in the rent payment, because it's important to show that not only then are you enjoying a rent.
You do not address her. You address his commission. There's no reason to address any party. They don't address you, you don't address them.
Understood. So in terms of the condition of her apartment, I would go as far as saying that, yes, you can make all kind of allegations. In fact, she sat in front of Judge John Reagan, and gave a whole 5-minute talk about everything. And Judge John Reagan simply smiled and said the case is dismissed. And along the way, Attorney Miller actually referred to the various frivolous report and basically pointed out to the court that the housing code department, health department, essentially ran out of things to cite because there was a picture of a common area that perhaps have a piece of candy wrapper or two, and pretty much all the problems were addressed. Now I understand it may take time. For example, I've mentioned the condition of the apartment. So for the record, the vent issue was actually a housing code violation or inspection. Note the timing. That was called last week, I believe on May 12th. The significance of that date is that we, as the respondent and the complainant, as per Carlos, your instruction, we are supposed to deliver our exhibit by the following day, the 13th. So clearly the timing of that violation is interesting, to say the least. I would call that a retaliatory, purely for the kangaroo trial of coming here, because that vent issue is the first time, and it is, I guess, if you call it an open issue. I do have until June next month to look into the issue, because before that there were no open housing code case. All the items specific to Unit C have been closed.
Anything else about the condition?
As far as her apartment, one more thing to add. In terms of, she was complaining, there was one episode, there was a lot. I just want to address one episode to give you a flavor of what's happening. There's a lot of he said, she said. She said it's an issue with her light, the bathroom light. Now, in that instance, I think within 2 days or 1 day, I deliver a 24-hour notice to you saying that we will need access to send our guy to take a look at the problem. And you were not home. So it's very hard for me to arrange people. And we're not home. The next one, I have to work with my guy and say, hey, can you go? And in her email, and you guys were unfortunately copied on some of that, what these colors seems to be, that she was complaining about, well, why can't I use the key? Well, if it's not a absolute emergency, just because I have the key to the apartment, it doesn't mean I'm there to open it for the electrician. And of course, it may take some time, and things don't just done in an instant. If there's something that breaks, tell us, we look into it. And as evidenced by the fact that until the May 12th housing code inspection, which caused the When there's a new issue, which I still have time to resolve, and I still need access to your apartment, by the way, but that's.
Don't address that. I told you this is the second time. Do not directly address the.
I'll leave it at that.
Huh?
I'm done. I'm leaving.
Yeah, stop, you're not helping yourself. I'm doing it. I'm telling you.
Mr. Bones, you like to cross-examine the witness?
I would.
Questions?
Questions? Answers only.
Were you made aware and understood why I missed that court case for the first time when we were relocated because we had no hot water? Were you aware of that at that time?
As far as I
Are you
know.
aware of it or you're not aware of it? Thank you, okay.
But the problem is,
Yeah, no, there's no problem. She asked you a direct question. Give her a direct answer. You'll be here all night and we'll be back here next month for another 6 hours. You want this case to move, and I know you do. You've been pushing it to move. You do. Just answer the question. It's a really simple question to answer. Go ahead, Ms. Ravalos.
Would you also understand it to be that with complaints, it has to be addressed also with an entity like the health department, therefore not making it frivolous?
That's not a question, Ms. Ravalos.
Do you understand that the cases were brought up greater than myself? It's not just me that puts it up, but there's actually another entity that has to give validations to bringing it to court. Like, do you understand that process? My complaint needs validation to bring to court.
You understand it or you don't
I
understand?
still understand the question.
Thank you.
Okay, then also in going to court, isn't there a time restraints, time expectancy for you to answer to that complaint from the court?
You can answer the question. I mean, is there time to answer? You know there's time to answer or not?
Everything's in my exhibit. The case ended in dismissal. I don't know what else to say.
The case only, okay, the case was, do you understand, or was it a yes or no that the case was brought back because I missed that court case because of being relocated for not having hot water?
Mr. Ravalos.
I mean, whatever reason you missed
Stop,
it.
stop.
Okay.
Mr. Ravalos, the case speaks for itself. The judge's order is.
So then, okay, were we not relocated right after that judgment?
I don't know about anything about that.
Okay, did you not, the 2 months
Your
of
comment
payment?
was.
You answered the question.
I-
You didn't know. You answered the question.
The 2 months of payments, was it not paid to the court and not, it was paid to the court, correct?
According to the court record, yes, you were paid 3 months after they were due.
They were paid to the
After
court,
court order.
correct?
They were paid ultimately, yes.
All right, because you don't know the back and forth.
That's not,
so there
it's
was-
not a
okay.
question.
So
Question.
therefore, there wasn't, so you received the rent, you're saying that it was skipped, you received that?
Correct, ultimately.
When you
Answer,
sent
no
that
answer.
email, when you sent that email to everyone about the understanding that that you would come to correct the building, correct the light issue, which is the second light issue, correct the light issue, right? I said, I expressed to you that you have the permission to come in and use the key, right?
You did. And did you see my?
Yeah, you did. You answered the question. Good job. There's no colloquy afterwards. Yes, you gave me permission. Thank you.
Next question.
I don't know why this is so hard for you to answer a question. I don't know why it's so hard for either of you to answer questions or ask questions. You're just making this impossible for this board.
I'm so sorry, so sorry. Did you not repeatedly send all of us our repetitive email about you need somebody in the building and not responding to just being able to enter?
It's a response. Yes, I responded to your comment about using the key. We need somebody over age of 18. We're not just gonna enter.
Did you not call members of even sitting at this table right now, liars about the complaints that were happening, that they saw themselves?
What?
Did you not, in that same email, because of that same issue with coming into my building, express that members at this table and other entities like the health department were liars with the things that they've witnessed themselves?
I don't think I followed the question.
You want me to go slower?
No, I can address one specific instance where I call you a liar.
I think the
because you
emails,
performed
I think
your
the email, I think the emails in our records clearly speak for themselves, what you say to each other and what you think of each other.
Thank you.
They're all the paper, I made sure Carlos put every single one of your wonderful emails back and forth so you can see what was going on.
And I can only speak in questions. There's a question, the question I'm speaking to is frivolous. It's not frivolous complaints. I can't just say that quickly. So my questions is coming to complaints have to be validated to be brought to that level.
And
It's
your
not
question
frivolous.
is
So that
what?
was my questioning using, have you, yes or no, called us liars?
And once again, I think it's pretty clear from your emails that are
And-
part of the record, that you've
But
called
that's
each other
why-
liars 10, 12, 15, 20 times. It's all,
There was
it's all in there.
There was actually a huge response from you, correct?
What do you mean?
In the email, you had a very explosive response about calling us liars, yes or no? And I'll leave it at that.
I mean,
Yes or no?
how do you want me to answer that kind of
Well-
question?
Yes or no?
That's like saying, have you stopped eating your
Then
food?
Okay, I don't think that's a valid question. We have it in the record. I don't have to go over it again. I think the commission is very well
Okay.
aware that you've called each other liars on multiple occasions.
I'm-
It's in there.
My clarity is not for me and him. But it's the fact of the disrespect of the frivolous nature he's saying, where he actually expressed that members of Fair Rents, members of the health department, Fair Rent was the one who actually pointed out.
It's actually not a question. It's not a question.
So my questioning though, because you don't like the question I asked, I'm leave it at that, but that's
I
why.
don't like or dislike the question.
Okay.
The question is very clear from full exhibits here before this board. That you don't get along, you don't like each other, you've called each other liars on many occasions. It couldn't be more obvious to these people if you took it and
I
hit them
do
over the head with
express,
this ball.
I
okay?
will express though, that this is what my questioning is not about personal with him and I, right? It's a fact that the complaints are not frivolous,
That'll be up to
complaints are
that'll be up to the
ignored.
board to decide.
right?
at
So
the
that's
end.
all I just wanted to point
Okay,
out,
that's fair.
that's it,
Very
that's
good.
all.
For the record, I did not call the commissioner liars. I absolutely would not have done that in any day.
That's
The only
fine.
person I call a
Okay,
liar
fine.
is her.
They will read the emails and as part of the record, make the determinations as to what a wonderful relationship you two have.
Thank you.
Are there any questions from the commission?
Yeah, I have a question. What is the difference between the condition of the property when you acquired it to the condition of the property now?
It aged a couple of years, but that's about it.
Excuse me, Mr. John, would you please speak loudly and clearly? I can't hear you.
Apologies.
I think he said.
The property aged a few years, and that's really about it. When we have tenants move out, we fix up the apartment. Sometimes involving redoing the floor, repainting, and it's really the routine maintenance. I'm not building a new elevator. I cannot do any ADA accommodation on that. I cannot build a ramp. In fact, for the record, I'm never denying her reasonableness, but short answer, it aged a couple of years, and it's really the routine maintenance that's you would expect to see.
You mentioned that you have a property manager. So when you're making these appointments to cure said issues, you mentioned that you couldn't arrange yourself to be there and couldn't open up if she wasn't available. You guys have a key. What is the role of the property manager if you're not available to make these appointments? Would not be where your property manager kind of comes in for you?
So to answer the question on that, in fact, her case is an exception. We do not enter people's apartment.
Right.
We generally respect people's privacy of their home.
Mhm.
And what we do is we send an advance notice
Mhm.
to the extent, hey, we need to access your units between so and so time. And it's usually delivered at least 24 hours in advance. And we work with tenants on that, right? If tenant says, hey, I can't be there, then so be it. We're just gonna have to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, well, let's find out the next time my guy is available, which is her case, that one particular episode we talked about. Yeah, yes, I responded back to her email about using key, and no, unless her unit is flooding or something. Of course, if the unit is flooding downstairs and she's not home, then by God, I may have to get fire department to go in. I don't have to have the key. So no, I do not just randomly enter people's home because, as you know, there's the landlord and tenant responsibility. Once the tenant takes possession, it is their sanctuary of their home. I cannot just enter it.
No, but you're giving notice that you will be entering it.
No, I'm giving notice of access. That's the exact
Right.
wording of my notice. The notice generally goes like this. We request access to your unit between so and so time on a certain date. And the certain date is usually at least 24 hours in advance. And also include the fact that we would need somebody over the age of 18 on premise, because nobody ever wants to be accused of, stealing things and all that. That's the standard procedure. It is highly unusual. In fact, she's the only one that says, hey, you can use your key and for to survive everything. Speaks to the fact that actually she was busy at work, volunteering for the insurance.
That is
industry.
That is not necessary,
Yeah.
Mr.
Go ahead, make your own bed. Laura,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So then, my next question would be, seeing as you have multiple violations, whether they're cured or not, do you, as a landlord, right? Why would you want to let it get that far? Like, why not? Why have, because it's stressful for a tenant, right? To even find the resources to get help and assistance to cure basic living conditions. That you're being aware of, but you can't access the unit. So she has to take matters into her own hands because you're saying that I'm not willing to access the unit, even though you're giving me permission to do so. And you have that, that context. So just why would you want to go through court where the court is not involved, we're involved, to just cure basic things that you're addressing anyways? Like, why drag it out? Why not just do the things?
Well, for the record, before May 12th, this unit had no outstanding so-called violations. In fact, we went to, as you can see in the exhibit, everything was resolved by January, and there's a good, between January and May, this unit had no violation. And again, because the 13 was purely the deadline for turning in our material,
Right.
it was a retaliatory as far as I'm concerned. And if you look at the actual details, I don't know if she provided that. Not only have time to address them, but the items were quite minor, to say the least. I mean,
So as a seasoned investor, because you said you own multiple properties, right? This is not your first investment. This is not something new. So it's not necessarily something like you just didn't know, right? Like, what are you doing proactively to avoid these things as just a landlord, right? Like, just, this is a business. I understand that, right? Like, it's obviously to make money, but you're also providing a service and housing, right? Like, that's a very sensitive topic, right? You're dealing with families, people, conditions, right? The ADA, you don't necessarily want to do it, right? But there are also services available that help supplement those things to implement them if you don't necessarily want to come out of pocket to do them, right? You also own a building that has more than 4 units, so you are obviously open to a little bit more things having to comply because you are dealing with a bigger population. So as an investor and as an owner and as a business measure, what are you doing to just provide just a better, suitable housing?
that's a really interesting way to phrase the question. Because the reality is that, as far as I'm concerned, these housing code cases, the items, if you carefully look at the details, they are such minor detail. Pretty much all of them are done in retaliation to the fact that she just simply doesn't like me. There are 6 units in this building, and she's really like the only squeaky wheel there is. Because the normal process, exactly like you said, if there are issues, reach out to us.
Yeah.
We arrange time, we go in, right? And she, as soon as something happens, I mean, Carlos, you can attest to it. As soon as something happens, like just 2 days ago, I have no hot water, and then 12 hours later or 6 hours, I don't know. Oh, by the way, just kidding, I have hot water. Like, if that's the kind of situation she wants to have, I can't help you, right? She comes to you, like if you're the housing department, then what am I gonna do? Stop her from emailing about the hot water? Oh, by the way, just kidding, I do
Excuse
have hot
me,
water.
please, excuse me. You all are wasting time. Answer her question, yes or no. And because it's frivolous to you, it may not be frivolous to her. We are wasting time here. These people have things to do.
How do you want me to answer that? And then I try to answer to the extent I can. I work with tenants. If they come to me, I go to them. If they go straight to the housing code, and then I mean, I still address them anyway, as you can see from the exhibit.
Okay, thank you.
They're addressed.
Yes, John.
So what was the date of, it's a series of questions. What was the date of the judgment that from the court that the case was dismissed because or it wasn't reopened because all of the health code issues have been resolved?
According to the judgment of dismissal, the date stamped on it is January 22nd.
Well, that was because she didn't show up, but what was the date?
January
that all the
28th, 2026.
That all the health issues were resolved?
That's the motion reopened is denied since the report are resolved based on the housing code inspection report.
So from January 28th, 2026, were there any additional health code issue? Well, were there any additional health department inspections?
28th?
Since the 28th, since the judgment that
Since the
everything
28th.
resolved, were there any additional health department?
For her apartment, like I said, no, until May 12th. When I point out
So-
the curious
so-
of that timing.
Can you turn to exhibit? I think it's exhibit 5.
Sorry, I meant to say no outstanding.
Okay, were there any health department?
Yeah,
visits?
she seems to go to the health department all the time when there's an issue.
What? Were there findings from the health department visits after?
What unit C?
For unit C, after, not whether or not they've been resolved, were there any findings resulting from those health department visits after January 28th?
Yes, and they are resolved.
Okay, all of those are resolved except for the one that came up on May 12th, which has the.
As far as I know.
Okay. Thank you.
Are there any other questions from the commissioners? Are there any questions from the staff?
No questions.
Okay, we have concluded, section 2 in 8:25. I think we need a break.
Okay, I think that the next one, there's nothing really about services, about furniture, furnishings, or
Can we
equipment.
get through that one quickly?
Probably, Ms. Revelos, your appliances, they work.
All right, wait just a minute.
I'm sorry, I didn't have a question.
No,
The appliances that are supplied work in your unit.
Like, yeah. I mean, the fridge, the stove, right?
Right,
Yeah.
that's what this is about. The third section is services of furniture, furnishings, equipment supplied and available of the utilities. We already heard about your utilities, about the water pressure, the electrical and stuff like that, so we don't need to go through that again. And we know your appliances work, and you don't have anything to say on section 3, correct?
The only thing to add is that the laundry service is not in the.
She hasn't brought that up.
Okay.
That one of your service.
Got it.
So,
So she did brought it up before.
She brought the washer dryer.
a washer dryer, but it works, correct?
The washer dryer,
There's downstairs, you don't use it.
that's in the comment.
you can't use
Right,
it.
that's not supplied, that's not part of your apartment, though. That's
That's like, no.
a coin operated type of thing if you want to use
Yeah.
it.
That's it.
So are we all agree that we're through section number 3 here? There's nothing more to add?
Hold on just a minute, Russell.
Okay.
Section 3, the third section of the hearing deals with the services, the furniture, the furnishings, and equipment supplied with the unit and the availability of utility. We have discussed this in section 1 and 2. There have been questions from Attorney Russell Liskoff to you, and I don't think there's anything else that needs to be added in this section. Are there any questions from the commissioners? Are there any questions from the staff for section 3 only? All right, thank you. We're finished with section 3 and we'll take a break. All right, 5 minutes.
Almost.
Almost. And we will resume at 8:43.
Getting late.
And we are on section 4. This 4th section will address the number and size of rooms and bathrooms available to the tenant and the rent charged for similar housing accommodation. Ms. Bob, would you please call your first witness, or you be your only witness regarding the number and size of rooms and rent charge for similar accommodations to the best of your ability?
So I do know that the space was noted earlier. I have a 2-bedroom unit. The building has 4 2-bedrooms and 2 1-bedrooms. One was changed into a 2-bedroom. Personally, for my 16 years of living there, my start, which was on a property that had accommodations toward the land, it started at $675, and now I am paying the $985. I do know that comparatively for others, it is higher. In Norwalk, like right across the street, or just comparatively, I do know the comps are higher for that. And I am kind of like, for lack of better words, a grandfathered in situation. I also don't have anything like Section 8 like the other tenants do, so I don't have anything that subsidizes the rents that are being charged currently. Hence why I'm at that $985 for being at a space where the property itself was, the land was subsidized. Therefore, the units at one point were for accommodating people of a lower income. I'm from that. I'm one of the oldest, and I come from that model up there. I do understand that, again, 2 bedrooms in Norwalk go higher for what I normally pay. But I'm in a 2-bedroom that for the last 16 years has only increased by $50, and then when they came, $100 in increments of how long I've been there, right? So I do understand that I am outside of the purview, but I also know that even with others, they may be charged, but the family themselves aren't actually paying that because they themselves have subsidies like Section 8.
Ladies, okay. Mr. John, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Yeah, I didn't hear what you think a comparable unit to your apartment in the market in the water
Do you
is.
have a question?
That was the question. I didn't hear.
She said higher.
Hi, okay, so it wasn't a dollar figure. Okay, understood. That's it.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
All right. Mr. John, would you like to testify yourself? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll keep you on point.
I was thinking.
Are there any questions from the commissioner for this witness? Are there any questions from the?
Well, actually, I have one. Mr. Ramos, have you attempted to find other housing accommodations?
Yes, I just can't afford it. Why I'm doing all the extra that I'm trying to afford, because after 16 years, I actually do just want to rent my home and then lay back down.
Thank you. Well, actually, sorry, one more question. What are the price points that you've been seeing? Like, I understand you can't afford them. What are the price points that you've been seeing?
Like between 15 to 20, you know? And it's just, if I can do that, I might as well get a mortgage. You know what I mean? So working for a mortgage.
Are there any other commissions with questions? Staff members, questions?
No questions.
All right. Mr. John, would you like to testify regarding the number and size of rooms and the rent charge for similar accommodations?
Absolutely. This apartment is 838 square feet with 2 bedrooms. So I provided in Exhibit B, and I'll summarize that. Actually, 2 different reports. This first report I ran on MLS between January through December 31st of 2025. that's a full year 2025, there were 13 MLS listed apartments rented, 2 bedrooms in Norwalk between 800 and 850 square feet. On average, it's the price was $2,378. I'm also going to quickly highlight that of that range, the lowest one rented was $1,995. The highest one was $3,100. So average of $2,378. Median, if anybody likes statistics, is $2,300. That was for the full year 2025. And then before I submitted my exhibit, I ran an updated last 12 months analysis, which comprised of data point on MLS, rented apartments between May 1st of 2025 through April 30th of 2026. So bring the data closer to the current market, if you will. Similarly, coincidentally, there were 13 apartments rented, again, for that range, 800 to 850 square feet, 2 bedroom in Norwalk. On average, they come out to $2,420, $2,420. And similarly, I'm also going to just quickly highlight that high and the low. So this time, the lowest of that 13 apartments is now $2,195. And the highest was still that $3,100, I suppose. So again, for the average, just fast forward a couple months, it increased by almost $100. So this is the market of a similarly sized apartment. And last, I would just simply add that I don't see a legal grounds for the so-called grandfathering. I mean, there's no legal basis. That was addressed with this Santiago here.
Are you finished with your testimony?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, are there any, Mr. Morales, would you like to cross the witness, please? I don't have a question for him. Okay, no questions. Are there any questions from any of the commissioners to the witness? John?
Thank you. So I'm looking at the exhibit B2. We could look at either of them. Your apartment is on Woodward Avenue, correct? Would you consider Woodward Avenue to be, and I don't know how well you know Norwalk neighborhoods, but would you consider Woodward Avenue to be in a similar neighborhood to, for instance, Seaview Avenue, which is listed here?
Honestly, I don't know because the number of data points is so few that I had to take the whole city. I recognize what you're trying to say. And in fact, if I could find 100 data point within a mile from Norwalk, I would have, I mean, Woodward Avenue, I would have done that. I mean, being seated, I was a math minor. I know what you mean. I can't, yeah.
Okay. In terms of the price of comparable units, would you consider the other units within Woodward Avenue, 55 Woodward Avenue, to be comparable units? The other two?
I would absolutely think so, yes.
Okay. Do you have in the exhibits what the rent rolls for those?
I did not include those. I figured the MLS market speaks better to what the current market is. But on top of my head, every single one of them are at least 2,500.
Okay.
Oh, perhaps there's one that's under 2,500, but still between 2,000 and 2,500.
All of the other 2 bedrooms are between 2,000 and 2,500.
All the 2 bedrooms are at least 2,500. I think the one that's between 2,000 and 2,500 is a 1 bedroom.
So if I remember your testimony from earlier today, and I might not have understood it and I might not remember it. Didn't you say there was one that was at 1,600?
Yes, there was a legacy tenant when I bought it, and that tenant voluntarily moved out since then. So any replacement, I believe that unit was replaced for at least 2,500 because that is the market.
What you're saying.
Yes, that's right. Because there's no grandfathering.
Okay, sure. Do you recognize Mr. Wallace for a question?
No. Just a minute. Mr. Bowles, do you have a question of the wit to cross the witness?
I do. Who's the longest standing unit or tenant in your building?
It's not really that relevant. talk about.
So even with that grandpa, I'm the longest standing tenant in the unit for 16 years. So if somebody came,
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
You
a
testifying.
grandfather, so
you're
that's my
testifying.
question.
You asked the question.
Yeah, that's my question, because I'm the longest of 16 years there. So
For the record, I did not own it for 16 years.
just,
What did you say?
So I did not own this building for 16 years, so I cannot speak to that fact.
that's, if you. have
Guys, gotta give the court reporter a chance. Once again, you're crossing over. I don't think your question about how long you lived there is really relevant. We're at what the rents are in the building, with Mr. Church's question.
Well, because for the 1400, for the tenant, that was probably the longest, but I'm the longest.
I don't think.
That's not relevant to
Yeah,
this
it's not relevant.
section. That's not relevant. Just involves, thank you.
I have no further questions either.
Excuse me.
I have no further.
Do you have any further questions? Are there any other commissioners that have questions of the witness?
I do. When you bought the building, did you ask about the demographics and did you ask anything to the owner about the building? Like who lived there and how long they lived there?
That seems like a very unusual question to ask.
I can't hear you.
You can just.
That seems like an unusual question.
Answer the question if you.
I did not ask the owner until subsequent to the purchase because as part of the compliance with the last year with the spectrum compliance I do have to provide the demographics information. So after the purchase, I did ask the seller to provide the information as part of the compliance, but normally I do not ask for such information before purchase.
Well, I was just asking, did the owner give you any advice or recommendations on any of the tenants prior to you buying the building?
Nope.
Okay, so you're telling us that you didn't know anything about how long those tenants lived in that building?
Not until I purchased it. I had as part of the purchase, the previous seller, as typical will be the case, will turn over any legacy lease, for example. I will have that after the purchase. It would not be appropriate for any real estate transaction for the owner to simply give, personal information until the transaction is closed. So before the purchase, no. After purchase, yes.
Okay, so after the purchase, did you realize that Ms. Rebulis had been there for numerous of years?
Yes.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
And just, and how long have you had ownership of this property?
Approximately 3 years. 3.
3 years?
Prior to the purchase, did you due diligence on what the current rent was?
I'm sorry, the question, prior to the purchase.
Prior to the purchase, did you do diligence on what the current rent rolls of the building were
The current rent roll?
at the time of the purchase?
Yes, I was provided the current rent roll before the purchase. So I was aware before the purchase how much each unit was paid. I do not have any further details other than the rent roll.
Thank you.
Any other questions from any other commissioner? Okay, are there questions from the staff?
So,
Oh, wait,
I do.
all right.
John asked his question. Did they tell you, the former owners, did they tell you how much rent each resident paid?
Yes, before the purchase.
And they gave you the history of why they were paying what they were paying?
No. Only the current rent as at the time of purchase or right before the purchase. Obviously, it would be bad to give any other information.
No, that's what I'm saying. Did they tell you?
I know nothing other than the current rent at the time of purchase.
And you didn't ask, you weren't wondering why the rents were, her rent was so low and everybody else's was much higher? It didn't.
Well, I mean, I see the numbers. Of course, I wonder what they are. It would not be appropriate in a typical real estate transaction to dig such a detail, because until the purchase is done, the buyer had no real right to, hey, I want to see the SSN that's on the lease of this tenant. I can't do that, right? That would be a gross violation of real estate practice.
I don't know. I've never bought an apartment building, so I wouldn't know if that would be or not. I'm just telling you, I don't know.
So
I don't know those rules. Only bought my house, that's it. I don't.
Understood. Perhaps
Okay,
I'm being presumptuous.
that, your question has been answered, right? Okay. Johnny May, did you?
No, I wanted to know how long he had this room. He said 3 years.
You answered, your question has been answered.
I do have another. Do you own the land?
Yes,
You own the land to the building that she lives in?
absolutely.
Okay, are there any other questions from the commission? Are there any questions from the staff?
I just have one question. For the comparables you've listed in your exhibits, you don't know any of the conditions of what the units look like on the interiors, correct?
Correct.
I have no other questions.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
He doesn't know what any of the conditions on the interiors of the units are for any of the comparables that he's listed.
All right. We will close our section 4 and move on to section 5. The fifth section deals with retaliation comment, the complaints and questions of whether the landlord has retaliated against the tenant for filing the Fair Rent Commission complaint. Ms. Rook.
May I ask a clarifying question?
Yes, sir.
We have heard each party state they think that something that the other has done was retaliatory during this hearing. But I'm understanding what you just read, but I want to clarify to be specifically, were any of the actions in retaliation for filing fair rent? Is that what we're asking?
That
It's not
is
retaliation
exactly.
for other types of
Correct.
No,
violence.
let me read it again. Specifically, this deals with whether the landlord has retaliated against the tenant for filing a fair rent complaint. Only a fair rent complaint. Mr. Bob.
The retaliation has been significant ever since I've been here the first time with him. Right? So, and the second retaliation caused me to ask you guys, but it's been retaliatory ever since I was here, since you the first time I saw you guys.
So can you explain?
So after the last time even being here, we have had to see several different situations for even me being here. Yeah, this type of attitude, even this rebuttals that you're seeing right now, this is commonplace, right? So, and even from back when we started, when he first met us, even in the court that I was here, he did know, because did they say to him that then he have a ledgers trying to say I still owe them and whatever, he didn't know how much I was paying. The person that he actually got to evict was paying $800. Why? Do you know the person downstairs?
We don't care about anybody, Miss Revels.
Right, yeah,
We don't
okay,
care about
nobody
anybody
else.
else, okay?
My problem.
It's you.
Right, so
And give us-
I
Just listen to me for 1 second, 1 second. Let's just give us the specific things that you claim are retaliation that he did against you for filing this fair rent complaint.
This fair rent complaint, I don't think it's a retaliation of filing this. I filed this because of a retaliatory from being in court that you know, and from since we were here before. It has been a situation since I was here before. So I think it's retaliatory since I've been here before. A retaliatory action made me have to come to you. No, it wasn't to you, but a retaliatory action made me come to you, which was increasing my rent.
So you're saying after you came here, he took you to court, is that what you said?
No, what I'm saying is there were several issues that I still had to use, like, because he won't talk to me. He doesn't show up anytime unless I see him right here. There's no, like, it's crickets because I've been here before, or because I have to go to the extremes that I do to get a response. So here, to even be here right now, it's retaliatory to the same court case that he's trying to say I wasn't there for, and that was thrown off, that I even put in this documentation, that are actually questionable about how that was even, how that was thrown out in the first place. Right,
Okay,
but the retaliatory for me is not per this, but the retaliatory of action has caused us to come here since I've been here before. This is not my first time here.
Yeah, but give us some specifics of what he's done to you. That's what been retaliatory.
Like, for example, very direct, because we had to have a complaint about not having hot water and being relocated by the health department. Once we came back, I received a letter the very next day about an increase in my rent, which caused me to reach out to you. That's a retaliatory. It was directly after the same week. Like the day after I had to leave that case, that when the judge threw it out, the very next week, we were sent to the hotel for the second time. 0.5%, and then I was sent to the hotel right after the dismissal at that case.
So you're saying that he did something with the water, the hot water?
The retaliatory was after being removed from the building for 2 days. I got home to a letter stating by email of the rent increase, which caused me to reach out to you guys.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Ms. Rivales. Mr. John, would you like to cross the witness?
Yes. So referring to Exhibit D, the case.
Questions, please.
Did you receive the court letter telling you the court date that you were supposed to show up?
I did.
You didn't.
I actually had to go there. I didn't get the mail. I actually had to go there. Because I was paying rent to them.
Did you, when you filed the case against me or Soundview LLC rather, did you put your home address for the court to send you notices?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever received any other notice from the court in the mail about that particular case?
Not that particular case. I could go right there. I was there monthly to pay rent. They gave it to me right there. We spoke.
so the answer is you didn't get notices.
I didn't get notices. I got them right in front of me. I was there often. I was right there.
On the same token, since you mentioned last case, the FRC 51-24.
Excuse me, can you speak up?
On the same token,
Thank you.
since you mentioned the last fair rent case that last year we spent hours on, 1851-24, did you receive the decision letter from the commission regarding what you need to do and regarding what I could do?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's it.
All right. Are there any questions from the commissioners? Any more questions from the commissioners on this?
Well, he has a question.
Oh, I haven't presented my case. That was just a
Oh,
question.
sorry. This is still based on what she's saying. I'm not ready.
Yeah,
to do
okay.
yet.
Yeah, I'll wait for my turn.
Thank you.
I guess after listening to you, am not sure exactly what you're saying. The retaliation is, other than you're saying that, number one, after you file the first time, in direct retaliation for your having filed, he raised your rent.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay,
That's not what I'm
so
saying.
what are you saying?
So the direct example of different matters of retaliation since I've been from the last one was one of the examples that caused me to come here today, right? Which was when, during that case, when we got relocated because of no hot water by the health department, which is why I missed the court case, right? When that was settled and we came back, I got a letter about the rent which made me come out to you. That's what I was clarifying. So it's not. Mhm.
All right. Look, I'd like for you just to say, in just a few words, when I ask, what action did he take that was in retaliation for your having filed the complaint?
So
It wasn't raising the rent.
the retaliation for me though, like not for me, but in the question you're saying right now, the retaliation caused me to reach out to Fair Rent, right? And I've been here prior.
What
But the
was the
retaliation
retaliation?
was
What I'm asking.
for being relocated on the complaints of heat and no hot water, right? The minute we came back, this is the second relocation of the building for us. I got that letter stating that my increase went to 2,170 something, and then I reached out to you guys again for the second time to be. But it's not, that's why I'm saying my retaliation for me happened to cause me to reach out to you. Not the retaliation right now, but because I've been here before, all of the stuff I've dealt with has been retaliatory.
You're claiming that he retaliated against you.
Right.
He retaliated against me.
Right.
Which what made me reach out to you guys.
But he's trying to ask you, what did he actually do?
What did he do?
Okay, after we were relocated, I came back home, right? Because of the relocation.
See, you've talked and you haven't said anything
Because
about
of the
what, wait,
relocation.
listen to me. If he retaliated against you, he did something. I don't want to hear,
You were penalized.
you did this and
But
you
here's
did
the
that
letter.
and so forth and so on. I'm saying,
The letter. That's what-
Diana, no. Retaliation is, he beat you up.
So
And then
you're
you're
looking
gonna,
for physical.
and
He took an
it's a,
What
yeah,
happened?
an action.
The action was handing me the letter of the rent increase.
So he increased your rents in
Right.
retaliation for,
In retaliation for the relocation
because
of tenant.
he had to pay for the relocation. And you had raised the complaint that led to him having to pay for the relocation,
There you go.
which then led him to cause him to raise your rent.
There you go.
That's
Okay.
what you're arguing.
There you go.
so he retaliated by raising your rent.
There you go.
And so I'm,
Literally, they have.
what happened to the hot water? What actually happened to the hot water?
It finally did come back in.
No, what happened prior?
Oh, we had no hot water. It went
For
out
how long?
for several days, actually. It takes a while for the health department to relocate you. It's not just today. You have to be there for a while.
So was that done
Yeah.
purposely? That,
I can't purposely make the water stop. I can't purposely make the water stop.
but this is what I'm getting at. Did he make the water
No,
stop?
the retaliation was the back and forth and the fight he kept having with the health department, right? Because the back and forth that he does with us happened with the health department too, with Yvonne, so on. So when he had to end up getting relocated and with Bill and they were telling them that this is going to be an expense of yours, right? He was like, no, it's not, so on. And literally when we came back, not even 24 hours, Thursday night, I was back. Friday morning, I got an email about my rent increase. That's when I sent it to you guys. It was directly after, and it's the same, like the first week was that court thing. And I missed it because of the relocation. We got relocated again. The Thursday, I come back. The Friday, the very next day, I get a letter.
So you're saying he's probably, this is how I'm getting this, okay? You didn't have any hot water. Did you let him know?
Yes, we do. We have to.
Okay, you let him know and then and he did nothing about it?
Right,
And that's when you called the health department?
right.
So that's when the retaliation came in because he failed to do anything about your hot water and you went to the health department and they
And we got
relocated.
relocated and so on. And the day I came back home, the very next day.
Okay, I get it now. I
Yeah,
get it.
he's looking at me kind of confused still. That's what I'm saying. The very
No,
first day.
I'm listening.
Yeah, no, so and that for me direct was retaliation. Even when I sent this is, I sent the complaint, this is retaliatory. Because we were just relocated. I sent it as the complaint in the complaint. I expressed it's retaliatory because
So
we just got relocated.
you feel that he treated you differently after you filed the complaint.
Oh, yeah, and I get.
He was more responsive prior to.
Not even more responsive because I haven't got it since I last came here.
No,
Because like
wait,
he
wait,
just told me
you're-
I'm the
you're-
problem.
No, I'm saying he was more responsive before you filed the original complaint than he became after you filed the complaint.
If
Yes. and no.
yes, because more responsive, his responsive, like the property manager won't respond at all. And she was the only one who responded, because just like mailing letters, there's no proper address for him. Everything gets kicked back. So using me and address is crazy because there's no proper address for him for things to kick back to the point of it being a violation, right? The retaliatory situation, again, it's not just me. I just can't speak about them. I have to speak about myself. But two people got relocated in that day. Then the week prior, a few weeks prior, the same people got relocated, right?
But we're only talking about you.
And okay, so then but this is where the rhetorical, now it's me with them. So it's not just me. The first time it wasn't me, the second time it's me too. Right? But I'm looked at as the one who's a problem because I'm more vocal and I'm helping.
Okay, look.
So that being
Wait,
said,
wait,
no, so that being said.
Please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, just don't go off on me like that.
No.
Just keep.
Yeah, I just want to
going,
speak that.
you know,
Excuse me,
Mhm.
only one person at a time
All
can
right,
speak. You
yes.
cannot talk over each other because the court, the recorder cannot.
That's
take
true.
it.
That's true.
Yes,
My
ma'am.
apologies.
My
Thank you.
apology, yes, ma'am.
My apologies.
And y'all got 2 minutes.
Okay, yes, Madam Commissioner.
Okay, look, I'm trying to just,
I understand.
I would like, okay, so
You're
now.
still talking over each other. Let him finish speaking, then you can answer.
Prior to the first complaint, were you able to contact him more easily?
Speak.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, all right, that's it.
Not at all.
That's it for me. Good.
Mhm.
Commissioners, does anyone else have a question? Staff, does anyone have a question? All right. Mr. John, would you like to testify yourself regarding the retaliation?
Absolutely. First, as I stated before, I was not aware of any relocation, leave alone your declaration about I pay for the relocation. I've never, throughout this 3 years of ownership, paid for any of the tenant at 55 Woolworths relocation. So make that a record. I did not pay for, I would not have. It was not necessary. Secondly,
Excuse me, I'm not understanding what you're saying. Can you
she's claiming
repeat
that I
He's
retaliated
making-
because I
he's
paid for her
making
retaliation, relocation. I did not. I wasn't even aware of it.
You're saying that you weren't aware that they were relocated.
That's correct.
Okay, all right. I just couldn't understand what you were saying.
I apologize. Need more water. That aside, on the retaliation point, the January rent increase delivered to Diana was strictly following the decision by this commission from the case 1851-24. I'm just gonna read the excerpt of the decision. If you want it, it's in Exhibit C, but of course you also have it from the prior
Well,
year.
to save time.
Page
don't-
4.
Don't read it, please.
And I'm gonna keep the important part. Oh, I'll just summarize. Her rent, as per commission's last case, was froze, if you will, at 985, retroactive from January 1st of 2025 all the way through December of 2025. Hence, I follow the decision of this commission, and in January, I gave her the benefit of doubt. In theory, I could have done it earlier. Deliver a rent increase after the commission's timeframe that you gave me had expired. So December, January. And of course, under normal circumstance, I give people a 30-day notice. Given I did it in the middle of January, the rent increase was supposed to be effective March 1st. I try to follow that. So as far as I can tell, there is no retaliation in any sense, given I'm merely following this commission's order. When it comes to when is the next time after the last case, I could increase the rent.
Have you finished?
Yes.
Are there, Ms. Rivales, would you like to cross the witness? Questions, please.
As a landlord, how are you not aware that we're relocated? How are you not aware?
I'm not.
He's not aware. That's not a real question. How are you not aware? He's not aware.
There, as a landlord,
Question, please.
I'm so sorry. There are protocols that went out to you to aware you of what was going on. Were you not reached out to by the health department several times? And was documentation not sent back that was mailed out to you by the health department? The health department has to let you know that your tenants are getting relocated, right?
Questions only.
Yeah, that's a question.
That wasn't a question. You were adding some more information.
Oh,
You asked your question.
that's my question.
Sorry.
Does the health department
question
not
is
have
if
to
I-
aware you that there's going to be a relocation of your staff, of your tenants? You have,
Again, I'm not aware of you ever relocated to anywhere since I purchased the property.
You have another question?
that doesn't answer the question I asked. Were you not sent documentation from the health department that we were getting relocated?
No,
Okay, he answered your question. You have another question?
Do you have documentation of the inability for the courts to reach you?
I get all the letter from the court, unlike you.
Oh, really?
Mr. John, that last statement was not necessary. Just answer the question, please.
I get all the letters from the court
Thank you.
and all the letters sent to me.
So then may I ask if you have seen the documentation that the courts have had of all copies of the return mail that they've sent to you? They
Yeah,
make
what-
copies? Have you seen them at all?
No, because I get all the letters.
Really?
I mean,
Okay, all right.
Okay,
There's,
No more questions?
it's in the exhibits. Yeah, no, it's in the exhibits.
commissioners, do
Please
you
look,
have
be able to
any?
see the returns.
Mr. Bowers, please respect me.
Oh, of course, I do. I'm sorry.
Are there any questions of the witness by any commissioner?
So I have a question. When you sent when you sent her the increase, did you bring a receipt, your email that you sent her for the increase and when it would start?
So if you're referring to the rent increase notice I delivered to her, it was done by email, also copied the Fair Rent Commission. Okay, folks. And she responded right away. So it was most definitely received by her in January for the rent increase.
It's exhibit B, 8B.
B is in boy.
Which one is it?
B as in boy.
Exhibit 8.
E as in boy. E as in boy. See that? Again. B as in boy?
Yeah.
I don't see it either. Do you see it?
So look for number 8 and then B behind 8.
Oh, behind 8. That's it. Yeah. I don't see it. Maybe.
Go to the front under the white 8, which is your last exhibit with a number on it.
You see it?
Yeah.
Your last, have you got this white one that has an 8 on it? Go forward.
Oh, let's see.
Okay, now. There it is.
I was on with the 8, okay. The B is in board, okay. The one that has the D. Right there.
Mr. John, did Ms. Rivales reply to this email?
Yes.
I don't see a reply.
I'm sorry, how did she reply, you mean, or did she reply?
Did she reply to you to this, with this, from this email?
Yes, she did.
I don't see a copy of that.
I did not include it, but I can look at the actual time. She's fully aware of it.
I didn't
Right.
ask that question.
May I just add one data point? She replied within 2 hours of I sent the email at 6:26 PM on January 23rd.
Excuse me, when?
6:26 PM on January 23rd. She replied
You
within.
have that copy with you?
Wait.
I did not provide it. I didn't think that was needed, but she actually copied Carlos and Fair Rent on the same email, so you in theory should have it.
She replied to you at 6:26 PM on the what?
January 23rd, 2026. And she replied to me, copy Carlos, as well as Fair Rent at norwalkct.gov.
Okay, are there any other questions from the commissioners? Any questions from the staff?
Questions.
Okay, Mr. Rivales, one question.
I have a quick question on it. How do I, there's exhibits that I don't know how to call out. And I just was asking the commissioner how to show it, because I don't know what they're.
Look at the tabs. Go in the front and look at the tab. So you want tab 7? That's exhibit 7.
What letter with it?
And what letter within the?
I'm trying, that's the point, trying better.
Yeah, some of them, I didn't put, letter labels, I just left it with, 8 and 7.
Right, so, because these are why mine doesn't have it, so that's why I haven't been calling, and I'm sure that you're gonna see it. But per my question, there's exhibits about return mail, and how often things get returned by Salvi LLC.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah,
It's
because
7C.
yeah, so it shows how many times things get returned, trying to
It's
say.
not on the address page.
Okay, so I just said, and these also show the complaints per the health department.
This is not.
But
it's not about-
Real quick, I just wanted to show I didn't know how to point this out to my question.
All right, no questions. Let's close out section 5 and we're on section 6. The last section will give the parties the opportunity to bring up any other relevant matters that they have not already discussed. Let me read that again, please. This last section will give the parties the opportunity to bring up any other relevant matters that they have not already discussed. Ms. Rivales, would you like to discuss any other matters that you have not already discussed?
The matter that there is a space here for Norwalk's tenants that become very hard to deal with when it comes to enforcing, just health, right? You will find in the exhibits when you go that I did give a letter, like a letter that's my own statement, ongoing civil rights, housing and disability violations from Soundview LLC. There are countless, violations and showings of the things that aren't being done by them. But what I personally want to bring up is this. There is a lack of transparency. There is a lack of upkeep. There is a point where this has become actually profoundingly traumatic, as I wrote before. Even to what you have seen with the constant jabs and dabs that come with the conversations. It's constant. I've been there for a very long time, yes, right? And talking about legacy tenants, I'm the epitome of that there, right? A legacy tenant. I can tell you that,
I'm interrupted because we want to hear something that has not been discussed.
Right.
This has been discussed.
So what I just wanted to continue in discussing that hasn't been discussed is that there is a conversation where I further feel that like health department, Section 8, fair rent, that if there was an easier process to help us engage to make landlords, slumlords, landlords that aren't doing the best for their properties and for their tenants to be held to a better account and better, he needs to be held accountable, right? The space of the property, and especially even like I know what hasn't been is seasonal interruptions as well. It goes as bad as seasonal interruptions, monthly and daily interruptions of what are not accommodated with the building, right? Another thing that hasn't been discussed, the fire department have had problems connecting with them so they could come in and investigate. We have emergency lights that don't turn on in the building, and we have normal blackouts in the summer. I have side lighting that doesn't work for when I go up in the back, and because I use that area we have a lot of steps. The back is less steps, we have no lights and access there. There's still there's still agencies that are trying to access the building that cannot contact him, right? And a lot of the violations are within the whole building, the whole premises, especially like I just said, which was not discussed. And very important in emergency situations, a great amount of the emergency lighting in that building does not work as well. And we're still waiting for the fire department to be able to contact them because they have to inspect every unit at the same time. Right? It is very difficult to contact them. You will see that as well. Right? Any other things I haven't discussed, you'll see the picture, like I have my porch is a problem as well. I can't bring my daughter outside there. There's a gaping hole on the bottom of my porch. So, with the downstairs.
Do a picture of that anywhere?
Well, from the hole that I actually found out, fair rent. I think the health department came back because I didn't even see it at one time. There's a hole in the front that was kind of pieced down, but I realized the warping and I went all the way down to the other end to the door that I've shown before that's not open, that should address the heat. And right on the side there, which I just found, there's not even a picture, I just found it, there's a gaping hole. It's a gaping hole going straight down. Right? I haven't even been able to say that to you guys. The rug removal that's been requested from the accommodations, you can feel the warping under the floor of the rug. You can feel it. There's going to be rug warping when you remove that, right? The basing, the heating, the base panel for where the heating, the upkeep of those are breaking apart, right? There is no, and just like you said, it's aged. It's aging, and there's no upkeep, no maintenance to this at all. The building is aging, and out of the legacy being there for a long time, even down to the exhibits that shown in the pictures in the book. You can tell this is an unsafe scenario, and the front door in our building does not lock properly. Why that's important? Because there's no secured space there. I've had someone that I also have to deal with in my life a long time, but I have a constant, a lifelong restraining order, right? Our main security, our main doors, we've had people who were coming in that were from the streets coming into the building at one point in time because our doors weren't secured. He just got that fixed. It was a violation. He just boarded up the downstairs. If you guys see original pictures from then to now, the downstairs was just boarded up because complaints because of, I'm forgetting the word, but of the people who don't live there kind of making home downstairs and about why we can't go downstairs to wash laundry. Besides it being broken, you don't know who you're gonna walk into, right? I am a mother of 2 girls, right? There's children in the building, security and space, and I truly believe watching them and deformation. Every single new tenant that has come in, they have been told, don't talk to her. She's crazy. Don't talk to her till they actually talk to me, find out why. And I find out that they letting people in literally say, don't talk to C. She's crazy. She's that. She's this. They have a whole story about me before they get there. Deformation, right? They also go after people that are in high stressful situations. So they need to get there, which is again, discriminatory in the manners of who they bring in to put them in the worst position that they were in from when they came out. And I didn't get the chance to choose them. I was there already, right? And I was one of the people that was
This is
still
so
being-
far beyond
Okay.
what a fair rent complaint is about now.
Oh, I thought I could talk about.
No, you can't talk about the whole world.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We'll be here for 5 weeks if you
sorry.
wanna just keep talking. This
No,
is
I'm
so
sorry,
far,
then I'm done.
this is so
That, I
far
was just
afield.
bringing up the stuff that wasn't, and those for me, and I apologize, but those for me are grave issues because I'm living them, right? Like, that's a real complaint. That's a real complaint of somebody talking about you before they even get there. Why do tenants need to know that?
This is not part of fair rent. complaint.
That's,
Not part of fair rent complaint.
okay, I was.
Sue them for defamation if you want.
Okay, no, okay, if that's not considered a complaint, then I'll take it out.
That's beyond
I'll take it out.
our scope.
I'll stroke that I take that out. I'll take that out completely. My complaint, I've told you, like I said, for the emergency lights to the problems of living there. That's my complaint. You've heard what I've stated, the ones that hasn't been stated, the fire department still needs to come.
We heard this already,
And
you're repeating it again now.
That's it. That's where I'm.
Okay, well, let's go.
The fire department needs to come. That's where we're going.
Mr. John, would you like to cross the witness?
Yes, it's a lot, but I do want to pinpoint a couple of key points. First, you are mentioning there were rolling blackouts in the building. Can you remind me when that's actually the case?
Every summer, every single summer, and that's with the town. Blackouts happen normally in South Norwalk. That's with the town. So every single summer, we would experience a blackout. If those emergency lights aren't working, we have to deal with that every single summer. You would know if you.
That's new to me. Did I cause it? Or did I cause the blackout? Or is it the utility that caused the blackout? I'm not aware of any blackout, so.
So is that considered a question?
Yeah, did he cause the blackouts?
Yes.
No, but that's not what I'm stating. But wait, that's not.
We got it.
Wait,
We know
that's
what
not
you're
what I'm
saying.
stating.
We know what you're saying.
We've got that. You gave the answer. No, he did not cause it. What's your next question?
Did anything in the building cause the blackout in the building?
No,
Okay, next question.
but
Mr. John, do you have another question?
with the blackout should be.
There's no pending.
Mr. Wallace, I'm talking.
Sorry.
One last question. You essentially told the same thing to Judge John Reagan back on January 28th. What was his response to your 5 minutes?
I don't even remember.
Excuse me, Mr. John, that question is not relevant in
I
this
see.
court.
I have no
I don't
further
even-
questions.
Thank you. All right, commissioners, do you have any questions?
I do. Mr. John, what is your address again?
No, questions for Mr. Wallace then. He hasn't testified yet.
Oh, good.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Help me, because I'm getting ahead of myself here. Okay, he has crossed her questions to Mr. Lawless.
Mr. Wallace, this isn't related to your testimony, but it's related to something that was brought up before, and we haven't had a chance to address it because I didn't think it really fit in anywhere else. In the last fair rent decision, there was an instruction that you were supposed to pay back the rent that was the additional $100 a month that hadn't, like, that had accrued since that time. I believe it was about 5 months worth. I believe that Mr. John has alleged that that was not paid. Was that ever paid?
No, not yet.
That was not paid.
It's just I don't have the extra yet, but not yet. No,
Thank
I do, but he has, I haven't, not,
I just.
not,
Thank you. Okay.
Any other commissioners? Questions? Thank you, John. That's a very good question. Any questions from the staff?
No questions.
All right. Mr. John, would you like to testify?
Yes.
To anything that has not been already discussed that is relevant to this fair rent hearing,
Absolutely,
not the court's affairs.
absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Well, I provided a lot of exhibits. Exhibit E. 8E is the one that I would like to first point your attention to. This is the original fair rent complaint, which I annotated for your purpose. I would like to bring to the fact that first, this is a 19-question questionnaire. And she obviously, just at a glance, spent a lot of time filling this out, okay? Question 17, claiming or pleading hardship. She did not fill it out. I find it hard to believe that she just ignored that 1 out of 19 questions. Secondly, I am pointing out factually lie because you told me that factually false, inaccurate information in the questionnaire that's filed to the fair rent. Okay. Question number 9. Is your rent pay up to date? Just like what she just admitted to John, thank you. The rents were not pay up to date at the time of her filing, and yet she conveniently checked the yes box. In normal procedural process, this will be considered a fatal error for outright dismissal of the case. So it will be interesting to see how the commission act on such a situation. Secondly, I point out number 10, do you pay your rent regularly and on time? She checked yes. And as I provided in the court order from Judge John Reagan, Judge John Reagan found her failed to pay rent for 2 months while she took me to court. Okay, and I mean, whether if it's a lie or not, you can look at the court decision. I mean, speaking of lies, right? As I pointed out in this annotated note, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, roughly about a third of the 19 questions. It's either wrong, fabricated, lie, or whatever. I question the honesty of filing this fair rent complaint. And again, this would be grounds for outright dismissal for such procedural failure. That's the first point I want to make. Now, I'm going to turn your attention back to her income, because there's one point I did not address earlier, didn't get a chance to. Okay? On the face of it, the rent increase may look a lot based on what she's claiming about her Social Security income being her sole income. But she said, you know, her for-profit business that was in business since 2017 supposedly have no income, no expense, despite the fact that according to the state of Connecticut Secretary of State record that she filed, it changed business address from Water Street in the prior year to Wall Street. I mean, clearly, she's getting the rent for free somewhere. I don't know, but the fact that she's claiming no expense is very interesting because we went through the income and expense in great detail. And at no point did she mention any of her other expenses.
Remember, we're not supposed to go over something we already went over.
Understood. That's why I will skip forward, right? I mean, other than the fact I'm questioning how she can make no income on her insurance. Lastly, I'm gonna point to exhibit I, very last of my exhibit. I'm gonna pause for a moment for you guys to.
This is relevant.
This is not relevant.
It is absolutely relevant
It is
because for income,
Excuse me, sir, this is not relevant in this case. Please do not explore this.
it is it's relevant for two facts, income and ability to pay. The fact is, there is unclaimed income. I will skip the article. But if you look at the very last one, her household, okay, because we're talking about household income, her household is able to afford $100,000 bail.
What? Say that again?
Let me say that one more time.
Yeah.
Her household is able to afford $100,000 bail for her household member. That's the ability to pay. I mean, she can say, oh, I made nothing here, made nothing there.
You don't know,
Public records.
you don't know where this bond came from or anything else. You don't know if you put up money, you don't put up a bond or anything else. You have any evidence to put up $100,000 bond? What's your evidence? This person put up $100,000 bond.
The evidence is in my exhibit. It says very clearly, release from custody. The court does not release.
Who put up the
Wait,
bond?
wait just a minute. Wait just a minute.
That's not right.
Excuse me. Mr. John. Item number I. This person is not involved in this case. This is not the same person.
Relevantly, she is on the lease as her household member.
But she is not in this hearing. She did not file this Fair Rent Commission complaint.
The relevance is that question number 17 is her household income. Does not say the defendant's income alone. Please take a quick look at the Fair Rent Complaint Exhibit E. Again, question number 17, I'll read it word for word. Total household adult income. As such, Exhibit I, her household adult's income should have been reported if she's pleading hardship. She's not. That's my final point.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Wallace, would you like to cross the witness?
So, yes, and then again, questions to the commissioners. In the cross questioning, is it only for items that we haven't discussed, right? Or can I cross it?
What did he say? You are crossing what he said.
And can I use examples to cross-examine?
If it's pertinent to what he said.
Okay. For example, as what should be thrown out, for example.
No. No. Ask your question. Cross the witness. Let's get on with this now.
Cross-examination and I'm going to ask this out because I want to know if I can ask this. Right. My cross questioning is in the exhibits shown that a mail has been returned and that there's not an actual sufficient address for this business. And being the talk of what should be thrown out from the courts and so on, because there is not a legitimate address for this business. Is that a question I can ask?
No, because it's not a question. It's an argument of law.
Okay, all right. And then next question, if I may ask this question. Per your understanding, should the building itself have a response to a blackout that has happened that causes the building to no longer have access to light? what is the emergency response for the building when a blackout happens?
That's beyond the scope of this hearing, Taylor.
No, because with the question that he even said, he asked, did he cause the blackout? Was the blackout caused by the building? No. But what is the building should respond to a blackout, hence emergency lights should turn
That's
on.
beyond what this commission.
So that's
You're
not a rebuttal question I can ask.
No.
Okay, all right.
Do you have any other questions?
It seems like my rebuttal questions I can't ask. That's okay.
Do you have another question?
Have you made it accessible for the fire department to come check the building?
Yeah, the building is open. Fire department can come anytime they want.
Have you responded to contacts and mail that has been sent out to you from them?
I did not get any mail from the fire department, but yes, I have talked to the fire department in response to what you are claiming.
And I will just close it, but by the commission to please note when you're looking through your, the documentation, the response of the fire department still having problems contacting him. I rested there.
So I have a question. When you were introduced yourself, what address did you give?
It is the same address I put on the Norwalk assessor and file with the cities of Norwalk. PO Box 626 Southport, Connecticut 06890.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the commissioner? Any commissioner? I have a question, Mr. John. Last time you were here, you said you resided in San Francisco, California, because you had to catch a plane. Do you have to catch a plane tomorrow or tonight?
Nope.
Do you still reside in California?
Nope.
You live in Connecticut?
I need a verbal answer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Have you disclosed your address to your tenant?
It is in the public record, so yes.
Well, can you tell us why you can't give us your address?
Because legally, I am responding as the owner of the property. So for the purpose of service notice, my PO Box 626 is more than capable of receiving all the court letters. Court does not send letters with, tracking number. I receive every single one of them. And it is a convenience for me to separate. I believe I understand your question, but the relevant is that I'm here as a business owner, and the business address is properly filed with the city of Norwalk. And again, it's on the public record. And it is also filed with the state of Connecticut for the purpose of the Secretary of State, when this building was previously owned by an LLC, where I'm the sole member. So from a proper service and notice, it was entirely correct, proper, 100% transparency.
Is there a legal requirement under Connecticut law that you disclose your residence to a tenant?
No, there's not.
No.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the commissioners?
There's no requirement. It can be dangerous. As you can see, these things can get heated sometimes.
Yeah.
And you wake up in the morning and you got a tenant with a gun sitting on your front door.
I get it.
So.
Which is why I'm not disclosing.
I get it,
here for the
because you
record.
may not want your residents to know where you live. I get it.
Yeah, we're on record.
I get it. I get it.
One person at a time, please. Please respect who is talking. Thank you. Are there any other questions? Any questions from the staff?
Just one question. You mentioned that if her application for the fair rent complaint is missing some information, you claim it's legally defective and it should be dismissed for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. You have any case law to give us on that?
I don't know the case law for that.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Mr. John, do you have any brief concluding remark?
Yes,
Brief.
absolutely.
Did she do her concluding remark already?
No, she's going there.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
what it is.
before you do that, Mr. John, I'm asking you a question. Why haven't you given your residents your official address?
I have given them their official address. It is on the public record as well.
That's not the question. You answered it, you have given it. But we see here where all this came back with the wrong address, and Ms. Clemens just said to you, do you still live in San Francisco? Well, all of this correspondence came back. And my question to you is, why haven't you given your tenants your new address?
So first of all, I'm going to point out that all these return mail that you're seeing are coming from the city of Norwalk, the health department. And I cannot answer as to why city of Norwalk's health department failed to go to Norwalk's assessor's public official record to get my mailing address. I cannot tell you why they failed to send to the right place. I don't know. But as far as courts are concerned, exactly as I said, I've been getting every single one of the court letter. Court does not send letter with certified mail tracking number and all that funky stuff. I've been getting every single one of them. It seems that it is a one-off with the city of Norwalk's health department who failed to check the assessor's official record for my PO box address in Southport, Connecticut. And I'm unable to answer why that's the case. But I am
But you
getting,
have given them your address, though.
absolutely.
Okay.
And just for the record, I have been getting the later mails. So I don't know, at some point, the health department finally realized, either way, I do want to give kudos to the health department for sending me emails as well. So I don't have to chase down these untraceable letters. I have been in communication with health department. Now, again, why don't they have the right address from their own city? I can't tell you.
Thank you.
Okay. Have you finished your concluding remark?
I haven't begun.
Excuse me?
I haven't begun my conclusion.
Yeah,
I believe
fine.
it's her turn, right?
No, I said it was your turn.
Oh, it's my turn to,
That's what I said.
I haven't begun my concluding remark.
But
I've been
because
answering
I
questions.
told you it's gonna be brief.
Yes, I know, I haven't begun. I didn't even get a chance to.
Well, okay, this is your chance.
Allow me to, please.
I didn't make a concluding one.
You're coming after him. That's what I have on my syllabus here.
Well, commissioners, my concluding remark is the rent increase that was delivered to her in January was following the commission's order from last round. With proper receipts and proper 30-day notice. So the rent increase itself was properly delivered. Second, I'm just going to quickly highlight that my analysis of comparable unit in Norwalk, I'm going to round it to roughly between 2,300 and 2,400. And my request is still below the average rent in Norwalk. I want you to consider that. Third, I'm highlighting the factual, let me call it inaccuracies when she claims her income, because I find it difficult, and I'm sure you will too, to believe that somebody will work as an insurance agent for 6 months out of kindness for heart and makes zero. And I find it difficult as a business owner of a for-profit business for 10 years, makes zero income and zero expense, as she said. And third, I find it interesting her ability to pay a $100,000 bond for her household member, and her household member have unreported income in question number 17 in her complaint, which is total household adult income. If she's
Okay,
partial.
Let's
it.
conclude this thing, please.
Yes, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Morales, do you have any brief concluding remark?
You would find that I am not the only case. And outside of not only in Norwalk, but outside of Norwalk, that this gentleman has been brought to court several times for his inability to properly care for his units, or people being hurt on his property. He's been sued multiple times. The same thing, he has a mugshot in here too. You know what I mean?
Ms.
So for me,
Ms.
I'm sorry.
Ms. Morales, come on. That's not a part of this.
So it's actually per the cases that have already been filed to him outside of Norwalk and Bridgeport, and outside of Norwalk and Bridgeport. I'm not the only one that's going through this with him, right? Now, for most insurance agents, especially starting, no, they will not receive anything till they start, right? I am in a space where I'm trying to get out, and I'm asking you guys to help me in, especially even you could tell it even being a problem to do the baggage, the rear that I had there, right? Because of life situations happening too. He also doesn't allow life situations. What I'm asking is for the help to actually get out. Any type of increases, anything like that doesn't help me remove myself from this space, right? I am not trying to fight this man back and forth. I just want to have proper living conditions for my 3-year-old. Like I have a minor child in the home, right? So that's what I'm asking of this commission, right? The lack of the help, because I've come here, I lived here, always having a situation in disability that I've been fighting, and I'm trying to get out of it. Increases are not going to help me get out of the building. That's my hope, because I am not the only one. You will see from cases, multiple people have brought this man to court for the exact same things I'm complaining about.
Are you
I
concluded?
And in my
Your
conclusion,
your
and in my
brief-
conclusion, I just want to state that you're going to find letters of documentation from my lawyer that states why it's important to have the addresses that they have for my statements on what it's been for me living there. I truly ask that you guys understand that my hope is to move out at some point, and I need the help to do so.
If you concluded, is that your conclusion?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I would like to thank both parties for your participation this evening and your witnesses, and the commission will now deliberate all of this information that you've given us and testified to that it was true. You will be notified of the decision of the commission and subsequently receive a written decision outlining our findings of fact and conclusions of law. Thank you so much for being here this evening. You are dismissed. Thank you. Yes, let me make the commissioners. And be back in 5 minutes, please, so that we can deliberate and get out of here.
It is
10:12 p.m. It is 10:12 p.m. and we are.
Do you know where your children?
I'm gonna put some of them in the
Still
corner.
need everyone to speak one at a time.
Okay.
I'm gonna put them in the corner if they don't stop talking. It's 10:12 p.m. and we are resuming our hearing on Wednesday, May 20th. And we are in deliberations and they will begin now. So we start with. Here's the deliberation. Oh my God, I know there's a process. Where is that thing, Russell? The question of it.
It's right here, on page 2, right?
Yes. All right, number 1. Section 1, considerations of income and expenses. What are our findings?
So I don't understand. or the money that she says she gets, that she could do all that she does?
So she lacks credibility on giving her income to the commission.
I think so.
I don't know. I mean, she said that.
She would
gets
get
money from her-
1,600.
She said she gets money from her parents, I mean, from her family members.
1640.
Every month? I don't believe it.
1640. Well, the problem was she didn't put anything down for us either, so.
That's
if
the
you have-
other
if you have a
problem.
complaint that's sworn to under the penalty of perjury, she swears to it here too, when she doesn't give, that is a problem. It is not a fatal defect to dismiss the case. But it does go to the witness's credibility, not giving it. She gave nothing as to what her, she didn't even bring a stub for, if you're on disability, here's a copy of my stub from a disability check every month.
Mhm.
Not hard to produce that, right? And what's
Yeah.
how much we have to-
Yeah, but even at that, so your rent is $900.
$985.
Huh?
$985.
Okay, so that's 1,000 right there. And you got $600 left?
That's tough. With grocery
And
prices.
she pays for childcare?
Well, she pays for a lot. She pays
25,
for a lot of stuff.
27.
He pays for a lot of stuff.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Okay, then she said she pays, say $100 for lights. She pays $10 for gas because she's got some kind of supplement. She pays $250 approximately for groceries. She pays $120 for
Internet and phone.
internet and phone.
Car
She pays
insurance.
$179 for car insurance. She pays $550 for a car. She didn't give any costs for lunch. She paid $108,
Something doesn't add.
$108 a
There's
month
no money. to
for
pay
childcare.
$5,000
That's what I'm saying, childcare alone, that's an
But
expense.
she said $27
Okay, now,
a week.
That's
no, it was $27 a week, but that's $108.
She gave us nothing to back up what she said. She didn't give us a light. She didn't give us a gas. She didn't give us an electric bill. She didn't give us a day. She gave us nothing other than what
No,
she said.
But even with what she said,
It's 2,200.
Right.
Yes, 20.
yeah, she's off like
She's off by a lot.
$800, $900 a
So-
month.
so I think
Now, where's
we-
that money
I
come
think
from?
we can make a finding that she lacks credibility.
Okay, now,
I mean, I think that's a really important point to make, because, and she lacks, she produced no documentation. And her expenses are so far over what she makes, that it's not credible.
And it came out of her mouth.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. Okay, so.
But wait, I have a question.
It came out of
What,
her mouth.
what is she looking for?
She is looking for a lower rent than the.
She's looking for sympathy.
Then-
Shut up, sissy.
Actually, no increase or a lower.
Or
No,
no,
but-
no rent.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, we all talking at the same time.
Mr. Liscott,
Sorry,
your back is to me and I don't know what you're saying. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
it's okay.
I-
I'll
Sure,
slide over here as well.
Yeah, that's better,
Maybe
probably.
my voice travels.
It does, but when you're beating when you're hitting.
It's such a baby.
I'm sorry. I need.
She knows
I
that one
knew
mess.
it.
She knows that mess.
Go ahead.
So, you know, so you need to lacks credibility income, she produced no documentation to back up her income. And her expenses are so far over her income, it's not credible. But maybe she, you know, possibly she gets contributions from family members.
That's what she
If
said.
you want to credit her with that, you can credit her with that.
She gets the 500 a month that she said, plus the 1640.
Still under.
She's still
still
a couple
underwater.
$100 short of the other.
No, that's only, what, 21?
The car will take care of it.
Yeah.
And we ask her to produce documents?
It's too late.
It's too late now.
This is right.
You know, and the thing that gets me on for both of them, as far as income and expenses, because he didn't have any either.
Right, well, he's not credible either.
No, he's not credible. He's making up stuff on the fly. And the thing of it is, they know from the last hearing that they need receipts when they tell us about these incomes and expenses. It's not that they're just coming in here not knowing. They already knew and they didn't bring it. So neither one of them are credible as far as I'm concerned on that.
Okay, so we think the fine is about number one, for the plaintiff.
Good fine.
Number two, we can find that he's not credible. The income, the expenses are not credible. Because he produced nothing either.
He certainly didn't.
There's no documentation.
And that's why we should dismiss the case, he said.
But you know, what I don't understand, how are you a businessman? You don't know the name of your insurance company. You don't know the name of the people that you're calling to do the repair work. You can't call off the top of your head because you have different people.
Okay, what do you follow the fire? Knows.
He knows nothing about his own business. And he expects us to believe all of this crap.
Names of contractors.
He didn't even have an address.
Or insurers. And there is no more.
You need to be
Claims
insurance.
report, there is
There's no
Yes,
more.
he had a mortgage of $576 and he had no mortgage.
Right.
I remember that from last time where I.
Thank you for catching that.
He did have a mortgage last time.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He's trying to recapture capital. He's saying, under financial theory, you should have 70% of a value, you should have 30% equity in the property, and then you should mortgage it for 70%. So he's saying if you mortgage it at 70%, the mortgage would be this much. He's imputing it, fully mortgage to it.
He's imputing it.
So there's.
He has no
So the
mortgage.
true, so even if we believe that the cost per unit information was given accurately, minus the mortgage,
Right.
the cost per unit is actually only $500 a month.
Right.
Which means that he is actually in the black $485 a month. As
Yeah,
opposed
right.
to-
And he probably is, John.
No, now, if he's only getting $985 a month for that unit, he's not in the black.
Right.
It's the best of breaking.
Well, okay, breaks even.
If you put any kind of work into your property, I ran these things, but if you put any kind of work into your property,
Which is
you're gonna spend a few $1,000s a year, okay? If you're gonna do any repair and maintenance on the outside, it's gonna be a few $1,000
But
a
but
year.
the operative word is if you do,
I can't.
okay? And according to her, he hasn't done anything, so.
There's no mortgage in the state, so he's not credible as far as income and expenses. He
ain't
produced nothing. We know that he has no mortgage. Okay, so that's number, that's,
Could we put in what the amount would be even if we assumed it was correct, what the monthly cost minus the mortgage?
They took the air off.
we can do a calculation.
It would be $500.
Which is good.
I mean.
John has already done that.
Because I think the total was 1,075 a month,
Yeah.
and then the mortgage was 573.
Mortgage.
So if that math is easy, it's $500.
Right.
Yes. 501.
Okay, so that will get us to find some facts on part number one, right? And so we talk about the income and his income expense. So that's for section number one. Section number two, condition of the unit. What do we think the condition of the unit is? Average start below average.
To pay $2,300.
It's below
I think
average.
it's below average.
Yeah,
Terrible.
absolutely.
Below
You should be
average,
paying more than that, I mean, less than that.
below average based on photographs?
Photographs,
Yeah.
because this is a danger on the outside. He could be sued
Well,
if somebody,
specifically the unit.
well, this is
But the
different.
conditions of the entire.
Yeah.
Everybody get a chance to look at the picture?
If one of those.
Yeah, put it up, Carlos.
If one of those tenants is hurt because of these conditions surrounding that property.
This guy is, he did
That's why
nothing.
he carries insurance. That he doesn't.
Yeah,
carry
yeah,
insurance.
he carries insurance.
But he didn't know to carry it, so who does he know to?
Maybe
And he might not have, I don't believe he
This
has
gentleman
insurance.
did literally nothing to that apartment, nothing to
So
it.
then
He did not take.
But here's the
any-
thing, he owns it, he doesn't have a mortgage, and he doesn't have to have insurance.
That's right. I forgot
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I agree.
I forgot that.
Why?
He doesn't have
That
to
he
have
might,
insurance.
that
'cause
he might
doesn't
not have
He
insurance.
doesn't have a mortgage.
Well, he said he had insurance.
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
doesn't
but-
have to have it.
No, it doesn't.
And
Daddy didn't
that's
know
what
the
I
name
just
of
said.
He said he didn't know
And he
the.
doesn't know the name, I don't believe the man has insurance, if you ask me.
Not that I know.
Why y'all going so fast with it?
The lady said that he was being sued already.
The pictures
Not
on.
that she had to know that.
But you have to have that in.
So we got the condition of the unit below average, based on photographs inside.
What is this right here, the basement?
The numerous verified health.
That's the
department.
basement.
That's where they go to wash their clothes.
But not anymore, they can't get
That's
down
the
there.
current condition of it?
Yeah.
It may be worse than that with the rain they
Was
had.
there 2 weeks ago.
Now, who would move in under these conditions?
Been there for 16 years. Wasn't that bad. We put no money, there is normal wear and tear that
Yeah.
happens, but
But after 16 years, it just
it
implodes.
needs to be, any unit.
Well, she went there because it was affordable.
Yeah.
So it's below average and the photo, based on the photos, it's below average based on the inside of the unit and the outside of the unit and the verified health department. Environment.
And it looks like she's been there 16 years. It looks like.
With one exception, the health department violations were resolved.
Oh, he gave kudos to the health department.
So now- so
And they're not here to hear it.
The day we went to do the health inspection, the health department was walking out from doing their inspection. I did ask him, what did you see? Was everything? Well, yeah. The landlord completed everything that we cited him for.
So that's.
What's in it,
What is that, a lot of
there's no
choice in there?
response, if there's no response,
That's
Oh, I can see it on my thing here.
if there's no response for no complaints,
And you can see, you can see it right
what the
there.
health department does, where does the information go to? Who does it go to?
So it's gonna be conditions, below average on photos, based on photographs. Inside and the outside, we verify health department violation and health department violations have been resolved.
Oh, God.
And
And the letters are in here from the health department.
We know, that's.
Yeah.
So we'll make that part of that. The number, now we got number 3 coming up. Services, furniture, furnishings, equipment, supplies available, building, utilities. Do we believe about the water pressure being low?
I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe that.
I believe that. However,
there's a video of it.
why you still wanna live there if you have all these problems?
She can't afford to.
That's right. That's what you can live.
She said she's trying to move.
The water pressure is low, toilet pressure is low.
Well, if the water pressure is low, the toilet pressure is gonna be low.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Let's see,
And let me ask a question. Do you guys believe that he didn't know that they put them in the hotel? I don't believe
I don't
it.
believe that either.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I do.
so this is the way it happens. The health department goes out, there's no heat, there's no hot water, they automatically get relocated to a hotel and they put a lien on the property. So somehow, some way, they have to notify.
They do. They do. I know
But
from
if
this
there's
place
no
over here.
address, but if there's no address,
They have his email address.
They got,
it's got a whole bunch of returns here.
That's all from.
Yes, yeah, but
That's-
not on emails.
they,
He gets his
Okay,
email.
wait, okay, Church, what'd you say, Church?
So the failed mails were all from last August.
right.
And then they got returned to sender, the address has been changed to X. And so then they updated the address. So they
Oh.
have his email with the health department. And this
And then-
address now.
I just wanna say, if you look at exhibit number 2, I printed out the field card twice. Why? One was printed back in February when she filed a complaint, it has one address. And I printed out a new one in April with a different address, when he updated the PO box. Exactly.
Okay, so
He only made that change in the last.
I was gonna ask that when it wasn't.
Oh, he just made the change.
In the last.
In April, in April, right?
we can also find the electrical issues.
Mhm.
But my question to you guys, do you believe he didn't know that they were displaced? They were displaced. I don't believe that.
I think he was lying.
I do too. I do too.
I just don't know that it's relevant to our analysis. Maybe when we get to the retaliation part, because that seemed to be her basis for retaliation, we could have that whole thing. Okay, so.
Or it could have been that the property manager was notified and maybe the property manager never communicated that to him.
Well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I don't believe it.
There's no furniture or furnishings or equipment supply other than the appliances were.
You know why I don't believe in Frank? Because he has to pay it, just like he said. He's gotta pay that back, the city back.
Yeah, but you're supposed to sell the property.
No, He just said he put a lien on it, they got to pay that back.
Yeah, when they take action to foreclose the lien, otherwise the lien sits there.
It just sits there until he decides to
It sits there
stop.
until he pays it.
Yeah, well, Carlos, did the people over here, did they pay the city back yet?
I have no idea. For the other property?
Okay, number four, it's a 2-bedroom unit, 838 square feet. It's the lowest rent in the building. We'll list what the other rents are for other units, and gives that information, list the other rents.
Keep going up 1,000 more.
He's asking. You don't know, if you want to teach, you don't ask, you don't get. You can ask, okay.
You ask for more than.
You ask, okay. So, but it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 830 square foot unit. It's the lowest rent in the building, and we'll list the other rent, the other rents that are there. As far as similar housing accommodations, they provided other listings, but could not confirm quality or locations.
I agree.
Which is sort of a big deal when it comes to the.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have the issue that I'm having is she hasn't been paying her rent. And
Yeah.
I don't know why he's not evicting her. Server knows to quit failure to pay rent. It's really easy.
so if your parents are giving you money, why?
Because you're struggling with paying. It's lady's holding on my fingertips.
Yeah, but you know your situation. You, and this is what I'm saying.
She's a business owner that runs space somewhere too, like, that's not free.
She didn't do that anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she did at one time.
It's the lowest rent in the building.
Don't believe that.
You don't believe she paid rent, or she didn't, what is it about that you don't believe, Brenda?
I believe that she's still doing her business.
Well, but she's not doing it where she's paying rent for space.
She might be doing it at home.
Oh, okay. That's a possibility. I mean, she's trying. And
I'm not saying she's not trying. However, you were supposed to be paying rent, so you're behind in your rent. You know, and you said on the application, that's what he pointed out, that you've been paying your rent and it's on time.
That's why,
And
that's why she lacks credibility.
Yeah.
That's why they don't.
yeah, so something.
So yes, she lacks credibility based upon her complaint too.
And the other point is that she was to pay those arrearages when we made our decision the last time, and she paid not one
We
penny
could say she violated.
today. She violated.
Yes.
So how can we have compassion?
Well, not that we don't have compassion, but how can we?
I do have some
We have to-
compassion.
I have
Because look at, and I'm just looking at her. From the time she came before, you see she looks like skin and bones.
Yes, she is. I noticed that.
Yes,
I hardly recognize.
skin and bones now.
I hardly recognize, but now I don't know
Yes.
whether that's because of the illness, or
Right.
whether it's because of the illness
Stress.
and the condition and the lack of money and all of this stuff together.
Her life's not easy.
Yeah.
So that's number 4, the 2-bedroom, 830 square foot, lowest rent in the building, list the other rents. They provide other listings, defendant provide other listings, but could not confirm quality of the location. So that's for number 4.
Well, number 4, I don't think his comparable accommodations were comparable.
Right. I said.
Okay.
He provided other listings, but couldn't confirm the quality, location, or they were comparable.
Right. Well, he provided the location, but he didn't know what they looked like on the inside, but we could tell from where they located that they looked a lot better than hers.
Okay. Number 5, retaliation.
Yes.
Now, I'm not clear on the retaliation. I'm not clear.
So my finding of fact is that there is no indication that he retaliated against her, either for the fair rent complaint or for the need to move due to the health department.
Well, she said once they got put into the hotel and he was mad about that, and then she got a letter that to increase her rent. I think it just happened at the same time that it was supposed to happen.
You know, it's something interesting that he said. He said, since he did not send the letter of increase until the 15th, he made it
30 days out.
30 days out to the first. However, he did that on the 23rd of January and not the 15th. And the 23rd of January is the day after they came back from this relocation.
The 23rd of January is also the day after the judge dismissed the case against her. Right.
And she might have a point, you might have a point there.
Well, I'm wondering if he waited until there wasn't an ongoing court case against him before he was going to that. Exactly.
Yeah. But he said he did it on 15th, but we got evidence that he didn't do it until. the
So that
23rd.
was retaliation.
Yes.
That was retaliation. I go with
I
you,
think he
Fran.
wanted to raise the rent as soon as he could.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to do it while there was a court case.
Right.
And it just happened to coincide with the time that they came back.
At first, I thought that, Fran, but I have to agree with you.
Right.
According to what he said.
I'm based on what he said.
That's not retaliation.
It's not retaliation for the fair rent complaint.
It's not.
Based on the previous case, he waited till January. But there was a pending court case, so he waited until that one finished, and then he still did it in January, it just happened to be the 23rd.
Yeah, but he said
But he said. he
the
did it on
15th.
15th.
No, he said he did it after the 15th, and that's why he was giving her that.
That's what I'm saying, but if we look at these books that we got today, they went back and forth with one another. They went back and forth.
They must like that.
I'm telling,
I mean, because like Russ said,
Like, yeah,
why
they
didn't he
went
just
back and
evict
forth.
her?
When was he gonna evict her?
Yeah.
For failure to pay rent.
Yeah, but well, tell me this. Why did they go to court? Why were they in court?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, question?
So the reason that he could evict her is because she didn't pay our ordered arrears.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the easiest way to kick somebody out of the world.
But he never addressed that.
I mean, he raised it with us.
But he didn't address it in court.
Right.
Well,
He did serve with a notice
We didn't
of
serve
way.
with notice of way.
And he did.
And that's the remedy, right? We don't have any power to enforce the action, but the housing court does.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell.
No, absolutely.
Russ, why did he take her to court?
We don't,
She took him.
She took him to court.
Why?
for health code violation.
House code violation. So she ended up paying rent into court
Yeah, I heard her say.
until he gave it to her. And
Then part of this. Yes, sir.
Even though she was late in paying the rent to the court, that doesn't impact him in any way.
Well.
Right? I mean, it goes into escrow. Either way.
It does, but let's see if she's late paying the court, that's also fair.
Understood.
So.
And she didn't pay rent.
They didn't do anything about it, so that's, you sleep on your right, you sleep on your right. So number 6, I would just say nothing of consequence in number 6. But anything other than that, or we discussed, I was just cynical here and going back and forth to you guys. About the whole world not being right and how we got to protect everybody and everybody.
I think we ought to save the elephants.
Huh? So, it's just nothing.
Okay.
Can we go?
Can you read that number 1 again?
Consideration of income expenses.
I didn't understand what you said, and I need to be able to.
Oh, I know. Consideration of income and expenses.
But what are the
The
findings?
lack of, there were no documentation and both parties were
And you know why she couldn't
not
understand?
credible.
Cause your back was to her.
Well, she should listen better.
You want number one again?
Yes, please.
Section number one, plaintiff lacks credibility on income. Produce no documentation to back up expenses. Their expenses are so far over the income, they're incredible. She possibly gets family assistance. Based on the complaint, she bought, based upon the, father complaint, she violated pay for not paying back. The income expenses are not credible. He failed to produce documentation. He doesn't know the name of the contractors or insurance or some kind of documentation. There is no actual mortgage on the property that's stated in this contract. Calculate the value of the mortgage. They have positive actual profit.
Unit has a cost of $500, the positive cash flow would be $185.
That was what I mean. Okay.
Do we want to just go through the standards and make sure we touch on anything in the zone from the standards? Or do we cover it through this?
I think we could put that in that, we do like, we got a full hearing, you have to testify.
We consider these standards A through K.
Exactly. Yes. So, okay, now the question is gonna be, we're gonna find the facts. What do you want to do about the rent?
So my position is that we are the Fair Rents Commission, not necessarily the Fair Market Rents Commission. We do not need to set the rent up the market, whatever the fair market rent would be, but instead what is fair for this particular tenant in this particular unit.
But I feel, and I'm gonna still feel this way. Where that place is, he should not get fair market for that place. And her room, I'm sorry,
Based upon the condition?
based on the condition.
Well, that's fine, that's what you say, based on the condition.
Right.
Yeah, based on the condition, the rent should be whatever. So that's easy, that's one factor, and you're not the fair market rent condition, you're the fair rent condition, so condition is a big factor.
Yeah.
So one of your salient matters of finding out is condition, the other one is going to be what? Maybe her illness.
Yeah, her illness,
illness. Which is pretty well documented.
Yes.
You can look at her and tell.
Oh, my God.
It's such a marked difference from last year to this.
It really is.
Potentially lower income.
Yeah.
But not backed up by anything.
Well, we'll just say potentially lower income. You got the word in potentially.
But how do we address the fact that she hasn't paid the
He has to.
access?
He's got the.
Okay, so that's what you do with
That's
us.
not us.
You can tell her to pay it, you wanna tell her to pay it.
I think that we
I
should.
think that would be fair. Like, I think
Yeah.
it addresses the concern of him trying to raise the rent and recoup.
So what we'll do is we'll set a rent, it'll say, as part of that, she's also to pay the arrears in order to do the last fair rent condition. That's $400. Or $500.
It's $400.
Those $400.
It was $450 a month. So should we do the same thing this time around,
No,
or do it $25 a month?
No, I just make her pay, she's on the hook for it.
She got her parents, they could pay it. Somebody to pay it, you said.
Okay. And based upon it's failing to maintain the property, he failed to maintain the property, you go set a rent.
Who, him?
Yeah, him, based upon the below average condition of the property and his failure to maintain it.
Yeah, yeah.
We have to provide a timeline for the payment. It's gonna be in full by.
We'll get there, let's get there, we'll work our way through it, we'll pick that up, the last thing we'll do is that. So it's fair rent commission, not the fair market rent commission, the condition of the property, the illness of the tenant, potentially lower income of the tenant, the failure of the landlord to maintain the property, anything else we could use to set value? Location of the property?
Yeah, in regards to ability to repay, like, are we allowed to request any kind of documentation that supports her inability?
I don't think so.
No.
They were sure.
Mm-mm.
Like the payment plan contingent on her providing.
But the hearing is.
Yeah, but she doesn't have to provide it to us.
Yeah, the hearing is closed.
Yeah.
Right.
Evidence is closed, so you
Okay.
can't ask for more evidence. Evidence is closed. Any other factors we're gonna use for setting the new rent?
Well, it's,
Yeah, enough.
well, okay, we don't need any more.
We need to
We
fix
got
it.
enough, but I was just gonna say that the surroundings, the property itself, there are so many dangers, like this retaining wall that has no fence that somebody.
We need
is
to fix
not-
it up.
That's the felony, it's failure to maintain the property.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's
And-
what-
and
In
condition-
the building and the grounds.
Right.
Hence why there might not be insurance on the property because.
He doesn't have any.
Because
insurance.
Because
He
the
doesn't have
insurance
to.
company would make him address some of these things, like,
Mhm.
I had trees covering the thing and they were like, we're not insuring you until you cure this.
That's much.
Some insurance companies are like that, some insurance
She
companies
didn't
are not like that.
When you buy a house.
Policy and
Insurance companies
2020.
get the premium.
Oh, that's so different. When we bought our house, they didn't come out and inspect.
Well, they.
They do now,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
and they do aerial too.
Mhm.
All right, so the old rent was $985. What's it going to? Do I hear any bids? Do I hear any bids?
Tell them to get some
What are you
insurance
asking
on that.
for?
1,010, 1,015.
I'm sitting here saying the same thing. I still think that it's still questionable.
What's that?
Does he have insurance?
why.
He says it's a.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
It's
He lying, but we ain't nothing we can do about that.
You already talked about it not being credible for his income defenses, so that's.
He couldn't tell us the name of the insurance.
Previously.
Doesn't name anything. The name made up something.
That's what they
No,
know.
we're trying to figure that out.
Oh,
And he ain't got to have it because he paid for the house.
previously.
Yes. Even whatever you pay, what you said.
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what we sent the rent at. Previously, she had gotten an increase of $50 a year up until he became the landlord, right?
Right.
And then since then, he's given $100. It was $100
$100.
increase last month.
That
Last year, the commission put that in. Is there any reason that we think that's not still a good level this time around?
Everything's gone up, so.
You have to.
I think it's reasonable for him to expect to increase it.
Right.
Yeah, but where's she getting the money from?
That's not for us to figure out. That's.
It ain't, but that's why we doing what we doing, because we know she doesn't have any money.
We gotta be equitable on both sides.
Sometimes, yeah.
If he's looking for 2,100 and whatever dollars, which is outrageous.
It is
And
outrageous.
she's looking to go down or lower.
It's
which
not
is
happening
also
either.
outrageous, outrageous.
Yeah.
So raise it $1,200 a month.
That's too much.
Yeah.
Way
so-
too much.
So Mr. Chair, you wanna make a motion to raise it by $100 a month?
Yeah, $100 a month. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
That would be
She's gonna pay $100 a month.
raise it.
Okay,
So
so
she
she
paid
paid
$1,000.
1,085.
Yeah.
From
1,000.
985 to 1,085.
Yeah, $100 a
That's
month.
still, that's,
That's reasonable.
I don't know if that's something that she can afford, but.
She
it's
can afford that.
Within her range.
I say 1,050.
I think that's too much money.
When did
$100
the
a month.
985 begin again?
A year ago.
A year ago.
3 months ago.
I think that's too much. Plus she gotta
What
pay
do
the
you think?
arrearage.
What do you think? What do you think, Brenda?
Okay, so we want her to pay the arrearage.
Yeah.
But you
Then we're
pay
gonna
that-
want her to pay.
Yeah, she knows that regardless. She knows that regardless.
Right. And then we're gonna go up on her rent $100 a month until he gets to his 223.
Then we can schedule it. We're gonna have her pay the 400 first, and once she pays those 400, then we can start a new rate at a later date.
So you're saying If she pays $400 and don't pay rent that month.
No,
No, you have to pay rent plus the 400.
So,
And then the new rent that the commission determines will kick in.
so you saying she pays $400 plus $985. And then,
1,050, 1,085, whatever the commission determines.
so what if she doesn't pay the 400?
You kick her out.
That's just.
Still kick her
That's
out.
what he wants.
He's still gonna evict her.
Well, evidently he doesn't want it because he could have kicked her out
He doesn't, he
the
hasn't.
past year.
He probably was scared. He probably doesn't know that he could kick her out.
There's no,
He knows. Anybody come in here with all that kind
He
of.
don't know that he could kick her out, but he should,
But
he don't own the
You have to
property.
remember, the quality of the property is the quality of the tenants that he attracts, so he knows what he's doing.
Right.
So it's a gain for all of them.
He is a.
Well, that's what I just said. This book, right, this went back, this is why this went back and forth. This is a game from both sides. This is a total game.
He's a fool not to kick her out. So all he's gonna do is go spend $4,000 or $5,000 to pick it up an extra grand. He'll make that back in 6 months and he'll be on his merry way forever.
He's a seasoned investor. This
Yeah.
is not his first
Yeah.
rodeo, so I believe that he knows what he's doing. I believe he knows he can go to court. He just doesn't want to pay for it. He's representing.
He just said he owns property in Bridgeport, Fairfield, he got property everywhere.
Bridgeport, Fairfield, and
Right.
So.
John. Oh, I'm sorry.
985 plus 400 for June.
Asked him about this place, mutual housing. I asked him, did he own the land? And he said he does, and he really does. He does
I remember
not,
there was something related
right,
to
he
that.
does not own the land.
Okay, so.
How does he not own the land?
Because
Some
because
properties are like that.
mutual housing had a,
Oh, okay, that's right, because that's where he bought it from.
mutual
Right.
housing owned the land. The property was owned by Connecticut Housing Partners.
And that's who sold it to him,
And that's who sold him the house,
Right.
not the.
not the land. He does not own that land.
But I feel like we said, actually, we are selling.
No. Ask Adam.
I'll double check.
Yeah. We, mm-mm. I
It's
think,
not
I think
relevant.
housing authority still owns that land because we were in litigation with them.
I thought we cleared it. But anyway, it's not relevant to what the reg should be.
No, but he said, I just
It's
kept
still-
asking
goes
him,
to
did he
his
own the land?
All right, so.
He said yes, he owns it.
Wrote down
He
so
does.
far. 985 plus 400 for June 2026. That's what you all want.
So is,
I don't think she can do that.
You don't think you could do it, man?
For June, we have 2 weeks for the financial facts to be signed. Should be together.
No,
Maybe
so that had to be July.
May make it July.
Yeah.
And then, so 985, so no raise, 985 for June of 2026. 985 plus 400 for July. 2026, and then
Carlos, what's this?
final rent for the next, about the next 10 months.
September.
August till really May, August till June,
I can't find my.
August to May 31st.
are we, the general consensus seems to be that $100 a month is too high?
I don't.
I'm not in agreement with that.
I don't.
But you think $50 a month?
But you guys gotta vote, you should gotta vote on it.
You gotta vote on what it's gonna be. We got.
Okay, so who, I need a motion. I need a motion for,
I moved 1,085 a month.
okay.
Starting in September, or August till June.
Okay, I have a motion from John Church for the rent to be $1,085 from July,
No, August to.
from August to August, 26 to August 27.
I'm sorry, it's August to June because we're saying the first 2 months.
It's August to May 31st.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Second.
We can
Starting
make
in
it,
August, you said starting in August?
why to me?
Because we're setting June and we're setting July.
Second.
Well, why can't we?
So-
Wait a minute, I want to get these dates right.
We're setting June
why
at
are we-
985 because she's not gonna be able to get the notice until July. We're setting July at 985 because that's the month that we want her to pay the 400 in arrearages.
Right.
And then after she's supposedly paid that, then.
Hopefully she can get out of there.
1,085.
Beginning in August.
Beginning in August, it can only go
2023.
10 more months, so it's May 31st.
I need to second that motion.
All right, and we have a second, all in favor of that one.
Second.
Santiago,
1, 2, 3.
four.
I'm sorry. I
Oh,
didn't-
it's a
I'm sorry.
four. Oh, Sissy.
1, 2, 3.
I got.
Oh,
I'm not voting for it, so.
1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4.
It was a guest vote for too.
Huh?
Guest vote.
I had 1, 2, 3, 4.
Fine.
Five.
I didn't see your hand.
Mine is,
Your hand is up.
yeah, mine is there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's not right, y'all.
Okay, we have opposers. 2. In a fair election.
That's a fair one.
Brenda, what do you, Brenda, wait, I want to hear it. What do you propose?
Okay, we don't have discussion on this. Okay, Britt,
I just think
your
that,
business.
I do believe she's suffering. She doesn't have the money. I do believe that. Where in the world is this woman gonna get this money from? And I'm looking at her pockets. I'm looking at her, what she said today. Really, where is she gonna get this money from? So why are we putting this on her?
Because you gotta pay something more. Even if you're in trouble, you gotta pay something more. She's about half of market, less than half market down.
That piece of crap? And let's say that when they fix it up, we'll go market value.
You can't.
My basis for it is that his expenses have gone up year over year. He had to pay trash this year, he didn't have to pay last year. He has to pay higher taxes this year that he didn't have to pay last year.
Yeah,
He has to pay higher utility. well, he's not
Higher
paying
water,
utilities,
higher
but
electric.
Higher for the common areas. that he had to pay last year. Now, whether or not he needs to recoup all of that from her, he's not going to, but he should recoup some increased costs from her. That's my basis for it. I think that is fair.
I agree with that, John. But to go up on her rent $1,000, that's $1,000.
but we.
Well, she was
paying
paying
$185.
185.
Well, you mean talking about his, you talking about
She was
his
paying
request or our?
No,
motion?
what we doing, that's $1,000 and
Which she's paying almost $1,000 anyway, the $985.
She's only raising $1,000 over
A year.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Really is enough. And gas just doubled the price.
it,
Gasoline just doubled.
but look, you a homeowner. You a
That's a lot.
apartment owner, so it's nothing for you.
Brenda, it's a
not
fair,
nothing.
it's a fair
It's
point.
not.
It's a fair point. It's a lot for her. It's a lot more for her than it is for sure. So.
$25 increases.
You're not gonna tell her that she can have it for free. So
We're
you
not
have
trying to give it to her. for
Okay, so
free.
you gotta put a
But
stipulation.
giving her $1,000, making her pay $1,000 more.
Well, like Fran just said, she's at 9 something already.
Yeah, now that's
But then you're gonna pay another $1,000.
That's
in
in a year's time.
That's within a year's time. I'm not saying right today.
That's
A thousand
it's over 12 months.
1,200.
Social Security whole goes up every year.
Exactly.
Not, right. I'm on Social
Yeah, I'm old
Security.
enough to know that. And
Let me tell y'all something.
it did not go up, it went down.
If I didn't have, if I didn't have the husband that I had,
We're getting a raise again next January.
I have my own home.
And paid.
And I get
$7
his
gallon
pension.
for gas.
And his
That
pension
even
pay
better.
my mortgage. So if I didn't have him, God only knows where I would be. Yeah, but God only knows where I would be. So thank God for his pension, for real. And then the city had a nerve to go up on the taxes last year, this year, and next year.
Brenda,
And the year after, and the year after.
Had a motion, we've had a vote, but let's pretend that was a straw poll. Make a motion on the number you want. Let's see what that one gets.
No, y'all don't want me to make a motion on what I.
All right, all right.
Okay, I just think that
if she's paying $900.
She's paying
Eight.
985, she's paying almost $1,000.
to make that.
She's struggling.
Maybe, because tell her not to be credible.
That's true.
Yeah, she is struggling. She couldn't pay 2 months. She is struggling.
Or she used that to take advantage.
Everybody's struggling right now.
No, not like that.
I promise you that they are.
No.
Right now, I do mortgages. Families are coming together to buy together and live together.
Yeah.
Everyone is doing it.
That's fine. She's renting.
Renting or buying, same thing. A
Well-
lot of renters are, there's 2 households living in 2-bedroom apartments. I've seen 5 guys live in 1-bedroom places, all on mattresses on floors. People are doing it. It's not fair, it sucks, we don't all agree with it, but.
Well, that's here.
Where we
Maybe
are.
she needs to move somewhere affordable.
She said she wanted to move. She
She's
said
trying to move.
she would love to do
Well,
this.
how are you trying to move?
Where's she gonna go?
We back here another year.
Mississippi.
But anywhere she goes for a 2-bedroom, she's gonna pay much more. Much more.
No, here in Connecticut, she gotta move out of state.
Either.
Question,
we can
Okay,
do it or we don't.
okay, wait. Okay, discussion over?
Yeah.
All right, I've polled it, the ayes have it.
I have it, so you got it.
Please,
Good work, everybody.
2 dissenters,
Yep. That's it.
the chair,
5-2.
and Benjamin Williams.
Are we done?
We're done.
We done did it.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh,
They
yeah.
ain't a little great thing. My glasses.
I think I'm really.
Adjourn.